Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mount Rushmore of podcast. This is episode 6. I can't believe we've done 6 of these already. Yeah! A round of applause. And today's extra special because we have our second guest on the podcast, FOXY, aka Tyler Berman.
What's up? Glad to be here.
Heck yeah. So
glad to be here.
Yeah, so for those of you guys that don't know who this guy is, you're like, who's Foxy?
He's just some guy.
Yeah, he was at the 116th with us, so I don't know, Marcus has known him longer than I have, but yeah, great guy, great leader. He retired in 2023. Is that right?
Nailed it.
Yeah, score. Retired from the military, that is. He's still working, you know. But yeah. He's awesome. I'm pretty sure he's done some Mount Rushmores with us on the board and the squadron, so it's a pleasure to have him here.
Meh.
I'm glad to be here, and I had to follow Spicy, I think. So
Yeah.
looking forward to getting this under. If I had to follow anybody, that's the guy that you want to follow for sure.
Small shoes to fill.
So thanks for the invite. Looking forward to
Marcus.
Small shoes.
Yeah, he's got little feet.
Oh man. That's funny.
You know what they say about guys with little feet? Small socks.
There we go.
Big
heart.
Shoes. All right.
Okay. Marcus, why don't you kick it off with some fun facts? Or should we have Foxy go first since he's the guest?
I don't care. Foxy, what do you want to do? You're in charge tonight.
It's your podcast. So,
you're running this show. All right, Foxy,
I'll go first. All right, Foxy goes.
Okay. Wow. I like the indecision.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So fun facts. Mine are kind of more story. So I'll start with Marcus. My fun fact about Marcus. I don't know if you've seen the super chill dog or super chill guy dog meme lately, but that's Marcus. You're kind of the epitome of super chill guy dog meme.
Super chill guy dog meme.
Marcus has not seen it.
I have.
He's
actually
Googling furiously.
Yeah.
Nothing flusters you.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing that will even make you walk a little faster. You know, always cool hand Luke, no matter the situation. I've always been impressed with your ability to maintain kind of a calm approach, no matter how stressful or annoying a situation can be. So that's my fun fact about Marcus.
God, he's being nice to you.
I know, it's disgusting.
No, I told you. I told you I'd start nice. And then Slim. Oh, little Slim. I don't even know if this is intentional, but no matter what you say, it somehow will make another person laugh. Either at you or with you.
Exactly.
Sometimes the same. It's the exact same time.
Yeah.
It's a pretty rare trait that very few people possess. And during times when others would just be up to their eyeballs with, stressful situations or anxious situations, we would drop some ridiculous saying, usually shortening of a word that doesn't make any sense at all, and just bring everybody back to center. So those are my two fun facts about the both of you.
Oh,
heck yeah! I really appreciate that one because last week, even though you may not have listened to that episode yet, Foxy, which we'll talk about that later. We talked about words to describe like ourselves, or like self-descriptive words. And Marcus and I both put funny, and Marcus kind of said the same thing. He's like, sometimes you're like intentionally funny, but sometimes you're just funny. And so it's good that you said that. It reinforces.
It's all about the delivery.
That I made the right choice.
Hey, I liked and I subscribed. I don't know what other than maybe friends and close immediate family who could say that. So
true.
It's true.
Even if
it means everything.
Heck yeah.
Our conversation means nothing. It's just the like and subscribe that matters.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right, Marcus.
It's my turn.
Yeah, do your fun facts.
All right, my fun fact about Olivia is,
Oh god.
and I don't know if this is like a common thing or if it's something she came up with on her own, but she calls it sopapilla cheesecake.
I do.
And she makes it from scratch. And I couldn't tell you what it is. It tastes like cinnamon and Christmas and creamy goodness cheesecake. And I think I don't think I can say it's the best of it's the best dessert that like a normal person has made that I've ever had, if that makes sense. You know, like you go to a bakery or something, I've had some pretty ridiculous over the top things, but like just Joe Schmo on the street making desserts, I think it might be the best.
Wow. Thank you for saying that.
Praise.
When Olivia got go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say when Olivia got hired at her current job, she put me as because I was a supervisor at some point. She put me as like a reference, and they emailed me a little sheet of questions about her, and then at the last question, is there anything else you would like to tell us about Olivia?
No
and
way!
I wrote a whole like novel about the sopapilla cheesecake and how they need to ask you to make it.
Dude, you know HR is the one that like read that shit, not the people I work with.
I don't care.
Oh, that's so funny.
Hopefully they went home and like Googled it and then made it.
Yeah, I did not come up with it. The first time I ever had it, my stepsister, she made it. This was, I don't even know how many years ago now. 2012, maybe. Circa 2012.
Woof.
Yeah, she made it, and then I was kind of the same reaction. I'm like, this might be the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. And so I was like, wow, I need the recipe. And it's just on allrecipes.com. It's so easy. It's like cream cheese, crescent rolls, a lot of sugar, vanilla, and butter, and cinnamon. That's like it.
Well.
And it's perfect.
That's a good word for it.
Anyway.
It is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, my fun fact. Well, I kind of have two because, well, the first one, there's like an honorable mention. Because if Foxy is going to say that about me, then I'm going to say the exact same thing about him of being cool, calm, and collected. So I'm just going to say that I'm the enlisted version of Foxy, but a little bit better.
Agree with that.
Is that a fun fact about yourself?
100%.
I guess that's a fun fact about me. No,
that's what I just said.
You're actually my long lost child, actually.
Oh, Daddy?
You guys kind of look alike.
Like, because we're white?
No. You're both like slightly ginger-ish, kind of, not really. Same vibes.
Ginger? I'm not ginger at all. Talking about. Come at me with that hate.
That's why I said ginger vibes.
Ginger vibes? Okay, I'm about to leave this podcast.
We have
no soul.
Our professional relationship is over.
Thanks, Slim.
No, I meant it with love.
Oh, of course. Of course. Okay, my actual fun fact. It's not really necessarily about Foxy himself, though there are fun facts. This is going to be a shameless plug for an attempt to get a sponsorship. But his son runs a soap company. And I forget how old is your son, like 12? He's been running it for like 4 years? 5 years?
Now he's 14.
14.
Yeah, he's been doing it for 6 years. He's 14 now.
No, that's super cool. And I think it's
Silly Soaps.
Sawyer's Silly Soaps.
They are high quality soaps.
Yeah, they are. And so if we could get a sponsorship he doesn't have to pay us, but it'd be cool to at the start of the show every time be like, all right, this podcast is we'd like to say our we'd like to thank our sponsors, Sawyer's Silly Soaps. And we'll put the website link or something up if he's got a website.
Oh yeah.
Or like I'll just make up like a fake ad. You know, like the big podcast you listen to, and like all of a sudden it just cuts into an ad. Like, hey guys, let me tell you about something. Sawyer's Silly Soaps. And then we'll just like promote his business, but then it'll make it seem like we're legit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now everyone knows the cat's out of the bag. So when I do that next episode,
it's all right. Well, yeah. So talk to Sawyer and see if he's willing to sponsor the podcast. Probably a super inappropriate podcast for him to listen to. So
it rolls right off the tongue too. Sponsored by Sawyer Silly Soaps. Say that 3 times fast, you know.
I can barely say it once.
He drives a pretty tough bargain, but I'll put a good word in for you guys, depending on how this goes.
All right. Yeah.
Make sure to tell him I've been a recurring customer. Maybe that'll.
Oh, he knows. He's like.
I know.
He's like Slim.
I need to order some more.
Marcus has actually been to my house before. He's like, Marcus, who the hell's Marcus? Slim. She's bought soap from me a bunch of times.
See? I'm well known.
All right. Well, I guess I got to buy more soap.
All right. Okay. I'll go into my fun facts real quick. My fun fact about FOXY is that I don't even know how many like memberships he has to vineyards, but it's got to be like over 10. Is that correct?
1,000.
Is it over 10?
I think it was 8. No, you lost. You take the under for sure.
No,
we had 8, and I think we're down to 3 currently because of dry January, making poor decisions.
Oh,
tisk.
Well, anyway, you have 3 more than I do, so like,
who's funding all those wineries right now? If you're not drinking,
I know. Insane.
Are they okay? Are they going under?
It's having an impact on the economy. No, there's 3 of them that went down this week.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Slim, exactly what kind of wine would you have in Texas? That's what is it like cactus wine or what is it?
No. So actually
Prickly
down in no. No, so down in hill country, there's actually quite a few vineyards down there. And I think it's known for more your reds. It's not really I think it's more red. I don't really know. I haven't really been to the vineyards down there because they're like 4 hours from my house, but there's a lot of Texas wine, I guess.
It would seem like it might be an okay place to make wine, right? It's
like hill country's really nice down there. Yeah, it reminds you of Tuscany. Not really, but it's way hotter.
Texany?
Yeah.
Texany.
Yeah.
Thanks.
There's a lot more wine than you'd think in Texas. I just haven't been to any of the like vineyards. I just normally buy your like run of the mill stuff from the store. Actually, I do still buy a lot of Oregon wine at the store. It is what it is. I can't let it go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You know what I just realized?
What?
I didn't upload a top comment. So
I already noticed that.
While you keep going, I'll pull one up here real quick.
Okay, and then my fun fact about Marcus, which like this one's kind of lame, but like I really here's the thing. I've been procrastinating these fun facts, and I basically wait till the last second every episode, which is bad on me. Okay, I need to be better about it. But this is what I could come up with when I had about 5 minutes till we were starting. And Marcus has been on 3 overseas deployments with the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for your service. Wait, where is it? There it is.
I do what I can.
Huzzah! sorry, it's kind of lame, but like, hey, you know, good for you, good on you, good for you.
Did you
You're
just have a stroke?
maybe you're part of the 1%.
Wow, go me.
Anyway, that was super lame. Sorry, guys.
Which one of your deployed locations had the nicest pool setup, Marcus?
It was all the
Yeah.
same location, so
Exactly.
Oh,
Oh
but there was a pool, right?
that 100%.
yeah.
I just never went to it because I'm
Okay,
way
okay.
too pasty for.
You never went to the pool?
I think I went a couple times, like on the first. Oh man, that might have to go into the memories. We played some volleyball.
Heck yeah.
Yes, we did. But
In the water.
some water
Yeah,
volleyball.
but there was just too much like, all the like Aussie girls would wear their like thong bikinis, and then you'd have all like the super douchers who are on way too much steroids, just like waddling about, like just never leaving them alone and just like trying to eat them alive. It was just awkward. One, I'm getting
Yeah.
sunburnt, and two, I'm just having to listen to some chode try to talk to some Aussie girl who's just trying to tan her butt cheeks, and she just doesn't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
It was just cringe.
Honestly, the same thing happened on
Typically
the
engaging.
deployment I went on. Some things never change.
No, they do
You were
not.
hitting on
Me?
an Aussie checks on her deployment.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what Olivia's known for.
Exactly.
It was a sausage fest. There'd be like 42 guys and 2 ladies.
Yeah.
It was 104 degrees outside. It was just always rough.
Yeah. Us women were very outnumbered out there.
Anyway, I had to make the joke. Of course. Yes, you were.
Ah.
And look, you brought home a husband for deployment.
I did. That might come up later this episode. Exactly. Yeah, a lot of people are like, dude, come on, don't, everyone tells you before you go, like, don't do it, man. Don't do it. And then, like, I did it, and it's worked out really well for me, so piss off. That's what I have to say. And, okay, I think that's gonna be it for fun facts.
What did you have? Oh no! Did you have a fun fact about Foxy? Did I miss it? Was I too busy doing?
His vineyard memberships.
Oh yeah, okay. I was here for that. Sorry.
Yeah.
This show is a lot harder when you're not drinking, to be honest. So,
That's funny. I
guess
haven't
gotta
been
pay
drinking
attention.
the whole time.
That's why I've been funnier.
All right. Moving right along.
Didn't have that on the boot.
What did you say, Foxy?
I said I didn't have Marcus being funnier than Slim on the bingo card.
Oh.
Well,
I don't think he is, but if he wants to believe it, that's
in
alright.
person, I'm definitely not funnier because your delivery and your.
I think it's the facial expressions.
Yeah, and just like your little gremlin self running around is just always so funny.
What?
What?
Your little gremlin
Wow.
self? That's going in the shit list. Good God. All right, moving along. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We say it every week. It's for a reason. So,
make us
yeah,
rich.
get in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It ain't that serious. Just do it. And then, God, we got a long top comment. I remember reading this, and
Oh, I can't even fit it all. Joe.
No, it's good. It's good. No, leave it. I'll just read it, and then we'll move it back off to the side. So Joe McKeag, shout out. You're the top commenter on the podcast, all 6 episodes. Well, 5, all 5. I'm sure you'll comment on this one too. And it says, as your friendly, because, wait, let me go back. So last week, one of the topics was cocktails. Okay. So this is the comment. As your friendly neighborhood bartender, I have feelings. I know Marcus didn't tell Olivia to grow up when all he's listing are dessert cocktails.
Sorry, they're
Preach.
delicious.
And he said, Olivia, the next time you're in Portland, I highly recommend searching out a bottle of Kochka horseradish vodka. It makes your
Whoa.
bloody magical. Which, I'm not a huge horseradish person, but I would try it in a Bloody Mary because I feel like it maybe it's decent. It evens it out. Then he says, and a good gateway gin cocktail I want you to try is the Aviation, which, like I said, I'm down to try it. I haven't tried gin in a while. And then he just said, disappointed by lack of classics here, so you have some homework. And then he gave us homework.
He did.
We don't have it listed, but he's a bartender, and I need to branch out a little bit. My list I thought was pretty decent, and then he was like, "No, branch out." And I think we should.
I'm gonna defend my list. Yeah, they're dessert cocktails, but they're delicious dessert cocktails. I mean,
they are really good.
If I'm gonna drink daily, which I don't and haven't for a long time, it would be scotch all day, every day. So
Because you're old.
It's because I'm a gentleman.
If that's what you call it.
Yes.
And
yes,
speaking of comments, make sure you get in the comments. Everybody, give us your lists. You'll be mentioned
Get
as
in
a
this
top
video's
comment.
guts.
Okay. Make sure you do some some shit talking. And yeah, I think oh, I forgot to say it. If you notice in the top left, if you're watching, if you're not watching, I'll describe it for you. We have a new logo. So we had like the angry winter one where we were wearing Santa hats. And now we have this one where Marcus is in Mount Rushmore holding a beer, and I look like a little Girl Scout with a party hat on, and my hair is super short. And yeah, so we changed up the logo. I think it was time for it. The Santa hats had to go. And yeah, and FOXY also put McKeag for president. Sorry, hashtag McKeag for Perez down. So I think with all of that, it's time.
Hold on. I got.
Okay, sorry.
I left this in from the spicy episode. We didn't cover it last week. My to-do list, which is to get taste by watching It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Vacation, and Dear Santa. I still haven't done that.
Have you done anything?
No, I've done nothing. I've been a slug, and that's it. I'm a slug that eats steak. Bless me.
I'll say, since I wasn't here or I didn't listen, I liked and subscribed to the previous episode, but you could skip Wonderful Life unless you really want to hurt yourself, because it's very depressing.
It is.
Christmas Vacation is an absolute must, though.
Yeah.
Who's in Dear Santa?
Santa.
No. Oh no, that's the Jack Black one. That's the new Jack Black one where the dyslexic kid says like "Dear Satan" or whatever.
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Spicy said it was funny, so I didn't see it, but I'm gonna wait. Yeah. I'm gonna save it for next Christmas.
Yep. Also, we didn't say all the topics.
Oh my gosh! I'm so
this is
sorry,
your first
everybody. I'm sorry, I got distracted. We've got a guest. So this week, we are going to be getting into some gambling advice, which is very on brand for Foxy and I. I'm sure it's gonna come up at some point, but we love casinos. Um, then we're gonna get into sports, and then our Mount Rushmore of 1/16th memories. Which the 1/16th was our Air Force squadron. I said was because, yeah, it's not gonna be the same.
R.I.P.
But not to get depressing, because we're about to jump
R.I.P.
into some gambling advice. And Marcus, I feel like Foxy should kick this one off, maybe, unless you want to go left to right.
Well, Foxy's gonna kick it off for us.
But I feel like as our resident gambling expert, he should kick it off.
Okay, I've never watched your guys' podcast, so I'll just tip here. But my number one piece of gambling advice. Oh, you can't just do that. Okay, so let's see how well I can type it live here.
Never leave.
A table on a heater.
Never leave a table on a heater.
Well, I feel like that's the opposite.
If the table's no, it's not. This is
Yeah,
this
no.
is true as
Because
a
then
as
you
a
lose
prime
all your
gambler.
money.
This is advice.
No, a heater means you're doing well.
Well, how do you know?
Right, but then you're gonna
Yeah, you're
not do
crushing
well.
it. You don't leave the table. The gambling gods will spite you if you leave the table on a heater. And I've heard many
course.
stories about old people on a we'll call it they're having a great time in a slot machine. They'll just
Yep.
relieve themselves sitting at the slot machine because they don't want somebody to get in there and steal the
Oh.
machine. So never leave.
I'll hit a
table
grandma,
on a
dude.
heater.
I'll hit a grandma. She does that. She's getting hands.
That's why you wear a diaper, bro.
Yeah.
Duh, everybody knows that.
Equal rights, equal fights. Granny's getting sucker punched.
That's true. If someone either
damn.
shit themselves or pissed themselves next to me at a slot machine, I might have a nervous breakdown.
Take all their money.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Perfect. All right, I will go next. So I'm trying to figure out if I should start with my actual good advice or my funny advice. Because there's both in here. I feel like I'm gonna start it off in a responsible way, and then the rest of it's just not responsible at all. Always have a limit. This is very important. You have
what
to
if you're
pick
in
a
a heater?
number. That's okay. No. Oh, okay. That's different.
If you're on a heater, you're winning.
And that's different because it's new money. It's found money. You know what I mean? It wasn't the money you came in with. So for me,
It's house money, baby.
Exactly. So for me, it's you go in. It's before you walk into the casino. You have to have a number in your brain of I am not going to take out more than this while I'm in this establishment. Because if you don't, that's how you get yourself into a little situation.
Little pickle.
Yeah. So always have a limit. I normally set my limit higher than I should, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta bet big to win big. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hey, Slim, have you ever actually followed that rule? Because I've been to the casino with you a time or two, and multiple ATM visits were definitely happening.
That's true. Well, the number may creep up a little bit here and there. If I'm losing, I get a little bit pissed off. So.
Well, yeah, and then you can't. When you lose, you can't stop. Because then you're just gonna actually lose money.
I know,
you
it's
have to
slippery
win it all
slope.
back.
But I never bet more than I know, or I never pull out more than I know I don't have. I guess I'll put it like that.
Giggity.
Not like that. Oh my god! It's not like I'm depleting my checking and savings account in one casino visit.
I get it. Yeah, you don't pull out more than you have. I get it.
This is not an intervention. It was just a joke.
Please. Guys, I'm fine and I don't have a problem, okay?
Yeah, I've heard that
We've all
before.
been there.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus, what's your
The first
great
step is
advice?
My first great advice is only play roulette and always bet on black. That's it.
Terrible advice.
I don't like
terrible
gambling
advice.
and I'm not good at it and I just don't enjoy it. So all of mine are going to be a meme.
All right.
But I do like roulette. I mean,
goes-
playing black or red on roulette, like that's one of the highest chances of winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, it's
Well,
not.
like statistically, I'm actually correct.
I don't.
Actually, yeah, it's
I
like a 49% chance.
Yeah, that's pretty good for
solid.
gambling.
Not bad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like being right.
It goes directly against my number 4. I'll just say that much.
I can't wait. All right, you're up, Foxy.
All right. All right. This is just a little something I like to live by. Life is too short to bet the under. Don't bet the under unless you like betting on things that are boring. Don't bet the under unless you're weak-minded, have no
Wow.
stomach for things. And if you bet the under, you should be publicly shamed. So that's what I have to say
Shame.
about that.
Wait,
Well-
so you never bet the under?
Not never, but life's short, Slim.
Okay.
Life's short.
Yeah. The only time you should bet the under is if you're betting on Justin Jefferson. That's the only time you should bet the under. I lost every parlay this season because Justin Jefferson. Every single one. I'm not even being dramatic. 100% loss rate because of Justin Jefferson. Because I was like,
Took
oh,
you
it's
to
just
the
a week.
finals, but he
What are these?
took you to the finals, but he broke your heart every week in between.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. That son of a bitch.
Ha, ha, ha. All right, life is too short to bet the under. I like it. I don't follow it, but I like it.
I don't know what
Okay.
Foxy is doing to the format over there, but he's
that's
he's
good.
being a boomer right now. I can't
Carry
get
on.
enough of.
Hold on, I'll fix this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Slim. What do you got?
All right, my second one, never sit anchorman position at a blackjack table. For those that don't know, I think it's also called like third base or something, but it's like the last seat on the left of a blackjack table. If you're playing with people you don't know, never sit there. If that's the only one that's open, I will not sit there because I don't want to be responsible for everyone else's like shortcomings. I hate sitting there.
What are you afraid of? A little bit of shame?
Blackjack table.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Why?
you're in the driver's seat. You got the whole table on your back at that point in time. And
I
your
know,
decision
but
just
it's
is
so
amplified that much more.
It's so sketchy. Like if I'm sitting, like okay, for example, I sat. I think it's when we were at what was it called? The Emerald Queen in Tacoma.
Yep.
I sat that position because I was playing with you guys and I know you guys and like it's kind of funny to like, you know, screw you over or like do something stupid because I know it's like you guys are my friends. But if it's a table of people I don't know at all, I hate sitting there. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I'll wait till another seat opens up or I'll go to a different table. I just can't do it.
So it's just too much pressure. You don't want people judging you.
It's too much pressure. It's not really that they're gonna be judging me, but like,
Just be mad.
yeah, like people get pissed. I mean, I've done it before, and I was like, oh god, man, all eyes are on you. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
This sounds like great conflict avoidance training. You're gonna go play nothing but Anchorman for a year.
No.
And you're gonna fight some old man.
I've never heard it referred to as Anchorman.
I have.
Scotch.
I've only ever heard
Third base.
exactly Ron Burgundy.
Right. Yeah.
Third base, yeah.
You're only allowed to say whale's vagina, scotch, and I'm Ron Burgundy when you sit in that seat.
Oh my god. Wait, I'm gonna Google it now. Anchorman, blackjack. I have to Google it and make sure.
Does this
In
rule
blackjack,
is
the
it the same?
anchorman is the last player to act before the dealer. So yeah, it's the same thing.
I've never heard it referred to this. That's very interesting.
Hey, I'm glad you
rule
learned
apply for you?
something on the podcast. It's great.
I know. Does this rule apply if you're the person sitting farthest to the left, or just third base, the last seat?
It's just last seat. It's like it.
Okay.
If no one's at the like very last seat, but you know what I mean. Like I don't want to be the furthest person on the left ever. If it's people I don't know, if it's my
Gotcha.
friends or my family, okay, whatever. Because we're just there to have a good time, and there's not as much pressure. But I don't like being in control of other people's destiny. Freaks me out.
I remember you absolutely murdering me in Vegas at the Emerald Queen playing I think it was free bet blackjack, playing third base. And we were just kind of up and down, and we sit down at the free bet blackjack table, and the only person that won that night was Slim. Everybody else took it right in the shorts, and you were sitting third base. You were totally fucking us with every decision you made. So I think this is actually a really good choice on your behalf.
Thank you. See, and that's the thing is like I just don't. Again, like it's funny if it's you guys, because like whatever.
Oh yeah,
you're taking your friends' money.
My per diem was gone. I had to tell my kids I couldn't eat that week. It was fine.
Yeah, exactly. Fine. I was eating ramen noodles all week.
Yeah. Well, Foxy survives on nothing but bananas anyway, so he's fine.
Oh god, that's such a that's got to come up later. That's got to come. Actually, I'll just bring it up really quick right now before sorry, Marcus.
Do it.
So Foxy, like any TDY, which again, non-military people, it's basically just a work trip. Any TDY that we went on, Foxy, every time we go somewhere, like leaving the hotel or something, he's always got a fucking grocery bag full of like yogurt, bananas, clementines, like
oranges.
He goes to the yeah, clementines.
You want an orange?
He goes to the grocery store and he just buys stuff and then he carries it around in the grocery bag. Yeah, he doesn't put it in a backpack or anything. He's got a Monster in one hand and a grocery bag in the other, and that's how Foxy rolls.
And you're like in the middle of some briefing and there's like it's like a serious briefing. There's like 300 people in an auditorium and like 30 minutes in, everyone's paying attention. You get a tap on your shoulders like, "Hey, you want an orange?" You're like, "The fuck? No, dude, I'm fucking. What are you doing?"
And then he's like crinkling around his grocery bag in a quiet room, diving into his yogurt. Which, if he forgot a spoon, I think I've seen him make the spoon out of the lid. Oh, it's so good. Had to mention it. That's like classic Foxy. I feel like you did that at drill too.
I don't know why. I think it's because I would always sleep until the last minute, probably like Slim does, and then get up, shower, shave, throw my uniform on. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna have to eat something at some point. And I would stay at my mom and dad's house on drill weekends. Shout out to Bob and Lori. And I would steal their fruit. And my mom would always get fresh fruit for me because she would stay the weekend. And I'd steal it, throw it in the bag, and that was my lunch usually. So sorry.
So it happened drill and TDY, but Foxy would have his grocery bag.
Actually, I'll just interject real quick. There was a reason for that, Slim. The reason I would go to the grocery store the first day of TDY, especially if there was a casino close by, is because I would be eating on the cheap because my gambling budget was my per diem for the trip. Typically.
Classic.
At least you're smart with your money.
Yeah, that's true. I would go lose my money and then be like,
Yeah.
who wants to go to Olive
Gambling's
Garden?
awesome.
Yeah. Let's go to the steakhouse. I'm sad now.
Yeah, exactly.
You-
Okay. Marcus, number 2.
My number 2 is $5 blackjack tables equals you can play all night with like $50. That's it.
God willing, that's true.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever like just gone out. You know, maybe the first like handful of hands kind of shit the bed, and you get down to your last like 2 chips or so. But then yeah, it's like the guys on the camera just go, oh, this guy's gonna leave if he loses all his chips. So let's get him a W, and then you
God,
win
you
a few, and then you're like, you kind of just hang. You're not gonna win anything, but you're just gonna have all night to play and chill with your friends, get free drinks. And
God, I feel like you haven't played enough blackjack. I've lost so much money at a blackjack table, even if it was $5. You like it's yeah, I don't know. I feel like I always get out like at some point.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how much. I mean, they've really the only times I've ever gone gambling is when we all went to Red Flag and which is an exercise for the Air Force, and those are like 3 weeks, and for 3 weeks we lived in a casino hotel. So
yeah,
it's
in
just
Las
like
Vegas. Yeah.
in Vegas. All we would do is get off work and go to the casino and just sit at a blackjack table for like 5 hours and just get plastered, and then go eat breakfast at like 3 in the morning at the 24-hour diner, and then wake up and go back to work and then do it again for 3 weeks.
It's awesome.
Shout
and
out to the Aliante Casino.
Aliante.
Resort.
Sponsor us.
I think you nailed it though. The best thing about $5 blackjack is, especially, is if you're with your group of friends and you can sit there and BS, make fun of the dealer, and especially the free drinks. That's the key to it all.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a key part to this also. It's the what do they call it? Quad deck, 4 deck, 5 deck. What did they call it? Just like 4 deck.
Usually 4 or 6
or
or
yeah.
8 or 2.
Single deck is like
it's never
gone.
an odd number unless it's single deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Single
find.
deck is hardcore.
They have a single deck table at the Spirit Mountain.
No way.
Aliante
That's
had,
amazing.
but I think they only had 1.
That's how
Usually there's not very many.
And it's kind of annoying too, because you're like, freaking every other hand you're sitting there waiting for them to shuffle the whole deck, and you're like, can you just have more cards?
I like single deck.
A little card counter.
Yeah. Single deck. I mean, my mom, she was teaching me how to play blackjack since I was a kid. We had like a blackjack felt, and she would bring out the chips and the cards, and like, I'm not even kidding you, we'd play at our kitchen table. Thus, my addiction was born. But like, yeah, I love single deck. I think it's fun. But if you can find a $5 table in a casino nowadays, man, you gotta sit down at it.
Did you guys bet like chores? So if you lose, you have to do chores?
No, we just always played fake. I mean, we had the chips, but like obviously we weren't putting money down. I was like 6 years old. I didn't have any money.
Fair enough.
I have a funny FOXY origination gambling story after we're done with the list.
Yes.
And I have a very similar thing. My dad taught me how to play craps when I was like 7.
That's amazing.
You should just tell it now so we don't forget. We will probably forget to come back to it.
Oh man. Well, I can tell it real fast. It's pretty funny. So everybody that knows me knows that I like to gamble. Not to extremes by any means, but definitely more than most people would feel comfortable doing. I've been relatively lucky in my life at it. But my origin story, I was thinking back as I was going through these today, trying to come up with some cool ones. So there I was.
Where were you?
Thank you. 18-year-old, fresh-faced, newble, high school senior. I'd been to the little card rooms in Longview, play blackjack specifically. Kind of fell in love with it. Like I said, my dad taught me how to play craps when I was like 7. Thanks, Dad. Set me up for failure probably there a little bit. But 18 years old, my second cousin was in town, and he shows me sportsbook.com. And sportsbook.com, this is before smartphones were a thing. I know, hashtag boomer alert. Before smartphones were a thing, you had to like log into the internet to go to a website. So he shows me sportsbook.com, which was an online casino and sportsbook. I'm sure it's probably still around. I had no idea like the odds, how the wagers worked. But I was an avid sports fan and fantasy football. Those are like my passion hobbies that I loved. Like I said, I dabbled in the card rooms in Longview, Washington, at the Cadillac Ranch Casino.
Oh,
Very nice little establishment. If you go outside after dark, you're more likely to get shanked than in prison, I think. But I survived.
Cadillac Ranch.
I loved
Sounds like the Kit Kat Club or something, you know.
It sounds like a strip club, but it was a very seedy card room in Longview, Washington. And I took many of my friends there. Like as 18-year-olds, we would drive the hour to Longview just to go to the Cadillac Ranch and lose our $50 or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Ruined a lot of other people's lives, but it's fine. Love the rush, love winning money. So it was pretty much set up for failure from that point. And I'll never forget. So this is a funny blackjack / origin story, but I'll never forget the first time that I got the courage to go onto sportsbook.com and deposit money, and then start making bets. And I just read this foolproof gambling article strategy, we'll call it, about blackjack, and basically like doubling your bet after you lose. So every time you lose, you double your bet to win your original bet back, right? It's fail-proof, completely fail-proof system.
Oh yeah.
I think it's called the Martingale system, if you want to look it up. So I tried it basically. I deposited $140, which at the time might as well have been $5,000 because I had no money as an 18-year-old high school student. Or maybe it was my
That was
freshman
so
year of
much
college.
dominoes you gave up. Oh man.
So much dominoes. $140. I'm like, okay, we'll put it in there. I read this article. I'm going to be a professional gambler when I grow up, whatever. And so I put my money on there. What are the odds of me losing, 7 hands in a row, as I thought to myself. So short story long, I lost 7 hands in a row in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I looked up the odds of that. It's 0.6% chance of that happening to somebody. Lose
Wow.
7 hands consecutively.
That's
So,
lucky.
Not only did I lose $130 or so, but I had this immediate pang of just sheer panic and guilt that rushed over me. I was making about $7.50 an hour when I was working at that point in time. I was living at home, not paying rent, not buying groceries, basically free room and board for my freshman year of college, right? So I did what any responsible degenerate bettor would do. I took the remaining $13 in my account and I bet it on a 3-leg Sunday Night Football parlay. Before I even really knew what it was. It was the Minnesota Vikings against the Green Bay Packers. I hardly understood what a parlay was, and I put my $13 on, I can remember it to this day, Vikings money line, so Vikings to win. Vikings to win exactly by 7 to 10 points, and the Packers running back Ahmad Green to score a touchdown. I think it paid out like $300 or something like that. So I would recoup my original. I would recoup my original investment, and I would effectively double it. So that was my goal, right? So I placed this bet. I'm just sick to my stomach. I'm down $140. Monday Night Football comes around. I'm 1,000% invested in the results of this mid-season meaningless game. Otherwise, I'm screaming at the TV. I'm still down $127. I'm sure my mom and dad are like, "What the hell is wrong with you? Why is this meaningless game so important?" Because I never told them what I did. Right? I was too shamed by this. And the game ended Packers 21, Vikings 31, and Ahmad Green had a touchdown in the third quarter. So
No way.
Vikings won. They won by the points I needed, and Ahmad Green scored a touchdown. I was incredibly pumped, but I couldn't really show it because I didn't want to give myself away.
I'm cool. I'm good.
So I did
I'm chilling.
I'm good. Yeah, I did. I did what any responsible degenerate would do, and I cashed my account out. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this money. I learned my lesson. I'm never going to do this stupid betting system online again. And I thought, I'm going to get away with this. I'm going to be. I can't believe I just made the easiest $160 of my lifetime after going through this for a couple days. And I thought through the whole process. The one thing I forgot was they sent me a check from this gambling company that was owned by a corporation in Turks and Caicos, which is somewhere in the Caribbean. And my brain wasn't fully developed. Like I said, I was 19 years old. Didn't really think that my dad was the one that would check the mail. And he saw a check made out to Tyler Berman from a company in Turks and Caicos. And well, the lid was off at that point in time. And I had to confess to my sins. But that's my origin story for gambling and how I was immediately hooked at it.
And thus an addict was born. That's
I'm
so
100%.
good. I'd never heard that story before. That's
I'm
hilarious.
sensing a strategy here. If you go to the casino and lose all your money, go and bet on sports, and then you're guaranteed to win.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
That's how it works.
DraftKings and
Yeah,
DraftKings and FanDuel are nonprofits.
all of your gambling karma, your gambling bad karma has already been spent up, so it's guaranteed to work out now.
Nothing but up from there for sure. Yeah. So anyway,
Oh,
sorry for the long story.
No,
but
that's amazing.
Great.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Helps explain my degeneracy that you guys are aware of. So my number 3, money won is better than money earned. It just feels better to take the casino's money than it does to work for it,
So true. So true.
That'll play into my number 3.
Yeah, I think that's why it's just so fun to gamble. So you're like, oh wow, I can't believe I just made, $300. Okay.
And that feeling when you put in $5 and you hit for 500, it's like, holy crap, that would take me, an hour or two to make.
Oh yeah.
What? Oh, bragging. You make $250 an hour? Holy cow! Are you gonna sponsor us?
Very silly subs has got you.
All right. My number 3 is sit at a slot machine that someone angrily got up from. So I'll kind of scan the room if I'm sitting at a slot that's like, it's not really doing much for me, or it's fine, but I'm ready to move on. And I scan the room and I look and see if there's someone getting up that's disgruntled, and that's the machine I go sit down on, because in my twisted little addict brain, that machine's gotta go soon. You know what I mean? It's gotta hit something soon. And so if I go sit down after someone who just got, $500 taken from them, maybe it's my turn to win $500. You know what I mean?
Facts. That's how I remember
no flaw in that argument.
What'd you say?
I said there's no flaw in that argument. 100% agree.
Yeah, I feel
that's how you won the last time I saw you win. Yeah, we were before Noni's.
Yeah, we just went down. There's like this Italian restaurant up where our unit is, and the unbelievable food. But there's always a wait for the table, and so we just went to the bar next door, and this lady got up from the slot machine. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take some cash out." So I went and sat down at it, and I won like $100.
Boom!
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think you only spent $1 or $2.
Yeah, it was like my second spin or something stupid, and I was like, "Score!" So I think
it was more than $100 though, because you paid for dinner, and I feel like you had something left over. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, maybe it was like 200 or something. I don't remember. All I know is that I won at like this random slot machine at a random bar.
$1 billion.
Yeah. All right, Marcus. What's your number? Oh, go ahead, Foxy.
I was gonna say I haven't seen Slim lose a whole lot at the casino. We've gambled together quite a bit on TDYs and
Yeah,
such.
yeah.
But there's nothing more sad than a Slim that's been on a downturn for an hour or two and is now
Yeah.
out of her hard-earned Benjamins. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough
It's
to
the
see
best of
someone.
times and the worst of times when you're gambling.
It's
The
just
highest
hard.
highs and the lowest lows.
It's hard to see somebody so positive be so down. It
Yeah,
really
Yeah.
you're like,
brings
I hate this place.
the
And then you
vibe down.
win and you're like, ooh, fun. I love money.
Yes.
Okay, Marcus, number three.
All right, my number 3 is only gamble on the stock market. That's the only gambling I do, and it's paying off.
Lame.
It's paying off.
That's so lame, bro.
Yeah, I don't.
I
I don't
mean,
have anything else. Sorry.
maybe it's not lame in the long term, but like it's lame.
I mean, do you like winning a little bit, or do you like winning a lot?
Obviously, I like winning a lot, but
So
like
there it
I'd
is.
rather go to a fun place where there's no windows at all and there's flashing lights everywhere and there's free drinks.
Sounds
People
like
that come
my
around and
sounds
give
like
them
my
to you.
trading office, minus to someone giving them to you.
And your drinks aren't free. You have to pay for
Well,
the alcohol.
Most of
I
my
mean,
alcohol I
I'm
bought
paying
years
money
ago.
to the casino, but like
Exactly. You're paying way more for those drinks than I'm paying for the drinks that I have here.
no, you see that's where girl math comes back into effect. You can't think about it like that. You can't think about it like that.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
different.
honestly,
Do you know how many?
go ahead, Foxy.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, do you know how many $50 rum and cokes or whiskey and cokes
Yeah,
I've had while waiting for the free drink to come back to me at the
I
blackjack
know.
table?
I know.
Yeah.
So many.
It's true.
But so this
Anyway,
ties
it's more
in.
fun at a casino than in the comfort of my own home.
I disagree, but that's fine. But it ties in with Foxy's money won is better than money earned, because if I make the same amount that I make at work, I am absolutely ecstatic that I didn't like have to go and sit in my desk and fill out spreadsheets and travel forms.
Yeah.
Adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's my number 3.
Woohoo. All
High
right,
up again.
Foxy. Number 4.
What was my number 4? Oh, my number 4 was play games of skill to reduce the house's edge. What I
Mm.
mean by that is play games like Texas Hold'em, blackjack, craps is usually pretty decent. Some of those bets,
Mhm.
video poker is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Everything else, I mean, those are you don't have an edge at those, but it
Mhm.
reduces the house's edge dramatically, and it goes back to Marcus's $5 blackjack all night. You could play $5 because you're basically doing a lot of pushing or a lot of I lose 5, I get 5 back, I push 1. So
Yeah.
play games of skill and you'll reduce the house's edge. There's like a 80+% hold rate on like slot machines. So
Yeah.
that's one actual piece of gambling advice that I would have for the constituents of this podcast.
That's a good piece of advice.
Constituents.
Do I do that? No. But
Absolutely not.
it sounds good.
In theory, it's great.
In theory, it does sound really good. God,
It's
Eddie.
kind of like your always have a limit one, Slim.
Yeah, kind of. Except, do I always follow it? For the purposes of this
No,
podcast and my security clearance, yes, I do. I always follow that. Are you kidding me?
Your
Duh.
FBI agent just had a
Absolutely.
heart attack.
Yeah, right? No! Stop talking! Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Eddie plays Ultimate Texas Hold'em, but like half the time you sit down at an Ultimate Texas Hold'em table, it's like I don't even know. I don't remember what the lowest like limit is. I don't know. It's still high. So like he's paying. I just watch him. He's like paying like $45 a hand, and you go in like starting with that, and I'm like, oh my god, I just can't. I can't. I like watching.
Every hand is like $40.
Yeah, that's why it's like ridiculous because you have to do all the other crap with Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And I've sat there and watched him play, and I'm just like, oh my god, dude, that's crazy. But he's won. He's won a lot of money. I'm just not good at Texas Hold'em. I'm not confident enough to go sit at a table and play it. But Eddie watches like poker videos on his phone, so.
I was going to say, if you can't sit third base at a blackjack table, then you're probably not going to love Texas Hold'em.
I know. I know. I think that's why I don't like it. Oh. Okay, my last one is just like funny, but like it's worked for me before. Pet the slot machines. Show the slot machines a little bit of love, and they'll show you a little bit of love back.
Spicy's gonna be really mad at this, but I don't really care. I remember him in Vegas, like just being so drunk and like rubbing and like humping the machine, and, like spanking it.
No, you did that.
I probably did too, but he's the one that inspired me.
You did
it worked.
And I was like, what are you doing? I don't do it like that. I just like...
Well, maybe you should. I won $3,000. You didn't.
Yeah, but that's because you followed my previous advice of sit down at a slot machine that someone angrily got up from. Here's a quick story.
And angrily, it was you.
Yeah. Marcus came and said, okay, it's my favorite slot machine, which my favorite slot machine is Dragon Link, okay? For those of you that know, you know. Buffalo's burned me way too many times. It's Buffalo. It's Dragon Link, and it's my favorite, and I just love it. And they had one of these like giant ones with the huge screen, and I was like, I'm gonna go sit down there. And I think we were at either Aria or the Cosmopolitan. I can't remember.
I think it's Cosmo.
I think it was Cosmo too. Sorry, excuse the cough if you guys can hear it. I've been sick. Anyway. So I'm getting ticked off because it's not providing me what I need. And then Marcus like never plays slot machines, and he's like, I'll give it a try. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So he sits down. He accidentally hits like the $5 button.
No, 50.
It's like
I put in $100 and I wanted to do a $5 bet.
Oh, yeah, that's right, but you hit 50.
Yeah, I didn't even. I was just like max bet. I had just been playing some machine where max bet was $5, and because I don't play slot machines, I was like, oh, they're all $5. So I was very drunk, and I just walked up to the machine. I put in my $100 and was like max bet, and it was
$50 gone.
And I was just staring at my money at the bottom, and it went from 100 to 50, and I was so mad. And I was just sitting there cursing like, I'm such an idiot. Like, I bet $50. God, this is why I don't gamble. And I was going on and on about how angry I was.
And I was like, Marcus, look at the screen. Look at the screen. And it went into like the bonus games. And he won like what, $3,000?
Yep.
Unbelievable, dude.
First spin, one spin.
And then he was like, I think I like gambling now. And I was like, fuck off. I don't even want to hear about this right now. Like, I just spent 30 minutes on this machine, nicely petting it, trying to get it to love me. And then Marcus sits down and he went, yeah, I should have bet $50 is what I should have done.
Yeah. That was Spicy's advice was turn the sound all the way up and always max bet.
No, you have to confuse it. I change my bet all the time. I try to confuse it. Does it work? I don't know.
The sound is the winnability meter. The higher the sound, the higher chance of winning. The funny thing about that story is somehow I wasn't with you guys that night.
I know.
I think we're on opposite shifts maybe on that as a red flag or something. And I remember Marcus coming in and being like, "Hey, look what I won," and show me his like $2,800 win or whatever, $3,000 win. It was like the Shanghai Dragon Link with the shields, and yeah, that was the one that he won on.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, look what I won!" And I had been in Vegas for like a week and a half, and like Marcus said, up late, drinking, gambling, working a ton, and I was down probably like $1,200 by that point. And I was like, good for you, asshole."
Yeah.
As I haven't eaten in 3 days because I won't eat until my per diem renews. Marcus is sitting over there fat, dumb, and happy.
I need my bananas.
I will say, yeah, my bananas were brown because they were a week and a half old, and I didn't have any more money. But Slim, I just have to say that when I see people pet slot machines at the casino, I want to slap them, and they look absolutely ridiculous doing it. But
the slot machine or the person?
Either one, but probably I won't actually slap them. I just want to. I have this urge to slap them.
What about spanking?
I really don't. I really don't do it. I just think it's hilarious.
A little dirty talk.
I also like when people like bring their hands up against the screen and like do little like spirit fingers along the screen, like trying to get the whatever they want. Whatever symbol puts it into the bonus game. Yeah. I like the spirit finger technique too. I think it's very enjoyable to watch. I don't really pet slot machines that often. Every once in a while I'll be like, "Come on, baby." But it doesn't, you know what I mean? I just think it's funny when other people do it.
Yeah, that only 4-drink Olivia does that.
Oh, if I've had too much to drink, I'll definitely pet a slot machine. I'll do the spirit fingers too.
Too much is half of one drink, and you're petting slot machines. Don't kill the audience.
I am a lightweight. It's like one vodka soda and lime, and I'm like, okay.
Come here, baby. Let me give you the pets.
I'm gonna pet you, Dragon Link.
Nice. Okay, Marcus, give us your number 4.
I'm gonna fiddle ya.
No!
My 5th one is gonna be use Monopoly money. Don't have anything else.
That's terrible.
Here, actually, I take that back. My 4th advice is gonna be to win. That's it.
Wow.
Good one.
That's
moving on. Wow, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
Okay, so the next topic is sports, but it's specifically sports that we would watch. We kind of had a debate about this. We're like, what sports are we doing? All sports. Everything's on the table. And it's our Mount Rushmore of sports to watch.
Well,
sports to watch.
Liv, you're up first.
All right. Number 1, college football. Always will be. Always has been. Sco Ducks, baby. Always and forever. Yep, exactly. Yeah, college football's my numero uno. Yeah, give me some more of those quacks. Yeah.
Do you have any dead duck sounds? What sound does a dead duck make? That's weird.
Okay. We don't have to talk. We don't have to talk about the past, okay?
College football's great. College football would be higher on my list if I could legally bet it in the great state of Oregon.
I know.
It is. It's number 2 on my list, so you stole my second one. But I've got a couple extra honorable mentions I can fill in the blanks with. But
huzzah!
I'm gonna go with mine.
It's my turn.
Oh, sorry. Your podcast.
Women's volleyball.
Why?
To watch? I think it's pretty obvious.
I think you're missing
shot in the dark
word in there.
My
women's beach volleyball.
Yeah, true.
It's all of it's good.
If you're gonna do,
I'm not gonna be picky.
Reason you're saying you are, it should be beach.
Yeah.
So both are good. you know,
Yeah, but one's
one
better.
only has 2, and then the other one has some number. I don't know, but it's more than 2. So
6%.
you know, pros and cons.
Would you prefer to watch women's volleyball? We're women's volleyball. I think spandex, not bikinis that are way too small.
Yeah.
In person or on TV?
Ooh.
That's a good question. Probably at home at TV. So
Sicko.
I'm
It's
not.
easier to be.
Whoa.
It's
Whoa.
easier to be pervy from your couch than
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah, I don't have to. Move my
No.
gaze every now and then. Well, you're staring too intently. No,
And
the drinks
this
are
is why
cheaper.
I hate men. Oh my god.
Is what it is.
That's terrible.
All right, Foxy.
All right.
Damn it.
I knew that was going to happen. It may or may not have been in my honorable mention.
It was bound to happen. Yeah, of course.
NFL's king. I will say I have zero desire to go to an NFL game. I find NFL games to be pretty toxic and just a lot of, you know, entitlement. Like those tickets are so expensive.
They're
And the
so
whole cost
expensive.
to go to a game is just it's absorbent, and drinks are crazy, parking's crazy, travel, blah blah blah. But the NFL product on TV is second to none, and it consumes easily 98% of my sports viewing. I watch
know. And
way,
we're
way,
not
way,
watching
way,
the
way
game
too much
right
of it.
now. We're on this pod
Oh,
instead
well, I
of
am.
watching the game. Yeah.
That's why he's so quiet. Just kidding.
Exactly.
I didn't make any bets though because I didn't want to be screaming in the middle of the podcast.
Oh,
So I
we
did that for you
appreciate
guys.
your
But that's why.
thoughtfulness.
I kind of wish it would have. It
Yep.
could have been. It could have been
Well,
fun.
what's the score? Because I'm not watching it.
Well, spoiler alert: the Ravens just lost 25-27, and Mark Andrews, it looks like, dropped the 2-point conversion in the end zone.
No way.
So,
Holy
Buffalo's
shit.
going back to Kansas City.
No,
Yep.
I wanted the Ravens to win. Just for shits and gigs.
So Buffalo's moving on.
Fuck.
As long as it's not the Chiefs that make it to the Super Bowl game.
Dude, I'm
love of
so
God.
sick. I'm so sick of the Chiefs. Oh, fuck. I was hoping so badly they'd lose yesterday, but obviously no. Also, since you guys said in person or on TV, college football for me, I really like in-person college football games. Normally, I don't have that. I don't have that luxury. Normally, I have to watch it on TV. But like, if I can go to a college game, specifically an Oregon game, like it's probably one of my favorite atmospheres in the world. It's amazing.
The in-person college football experience is an infinity out of 10 compared to the 1 out of 10 NFL
I
version.
totally agree.
It's
I think
it's
Foxy
also
just-
like watching it.
Go
Go ahead.
I was just saying, Foxy is
I was
just
gonna say,
he likes to be pervy, so that's why he likes it at home on TV.
Okay, women's volleyball, whatever you say.
Yeah.
It's better than men's football, you know. Whatever you're into, I'm not judging.
But like at a college football game, you've got the marching band, you've got the cheerleaders, the student section. You know, it's just an awesome energy. And then NFL is just like a bunch of drunk assholes and fights in the stands. And I mean, I love the NFL, but like the college in-person experience is out of this world, and that's coming from a Beavers fan. So,
Woof. But I totally agree.
Sorry.
I've been to a lot of college football games, and I haven't been to as many NFL games, mostly because of the price. But the few NFL games that I have been to, like, I don't know. It's just it's better from the comfort of my own home, in my opinion.
amen, sister.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I cut mine, but Slim stole my second one.
Oh no, you're good. Okay, so Foxy's second one is college football in person. So we're same on that one. My second It's gonna be NFL on TV. Bum-ba-da-da.
Let's go.
Same. And just any football. I just love football. I live for football season, and I'm sad. Sad it's almost over this year. So that means I have to wait all the way till August again. Rip.
Womp womp.
Yeah,
Let's not talk about that.
I know. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. You mean disc golf?
Oh yeah.
In person and on TV.
Yeah, I like disc golf.
I think
It's really fun to watch. In person and on TV. I don't have a preference. That's it. I don't know.
Nerd alert!
I never could understand how people could watch golf, but I feel like it's the same thing with disc golf. Once you get kind of not even necessarily good at it, but you understand how difficult it is to be good at it, watching it is so impressive when people are good at it. It blows your mind.
Sorry.
I think
that's how I feel about football, so
I'm kidding. I just had to do it because it was funny. Comedic timing.
Yes.
Nailed it. I think it helps, just like golf, if you are a golfer or a disc golfer, it makes it 1,000 times better.
For sure.
On TV.
Yeah, that's you understand how, they just did something that you on the luckiest day of your life couldn't do 10% of what they just did.
Right.
Consistently over and over again for however many, I don't know how golf is, but disc golf is the tournament is 5 days long and they play 18 holes every single day. And I'm like, how? And then you go somewhere, you get on a plane and then you do it all over again 3 days later. I'm like, how do you recover? It does not make any sense.
Disc golfers are oftentimes referred to as the gladiators of our generation.
Yes, true. That's why I play it.
Are they? I've never heard that before. Sounds fake.
You sound fake.
What he said. Somebody said it.
That's funny.
What, since you guys both put football, before we move on, I really like this conspiracy that the NFL is like the WWE. What's your guys' take?
That it's fake?
Yeah, it's all for entertainment.
It's scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, all the ref stuff with the Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
The conspiracy. It's hard to deny the conspiracy.
I know. There's so many memes right now about how Mahomes gets away with whatever he wants and never gets tackled. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's scripted, but the Chiefs, I just hate them. So I guess I can't. I don't really have a good reason other than I just hate them to believe that shit is actually scripted.
So it's a no for Liv. FOXY, is the conspiracy true?
I think I'm not a big conspiracy theorist guy, but there's definitely things that you see and make you go,
Yeah. Definitely.
Sounds like you're a conspiracy guy.
This goes back to the gambling point, and this is what I look at everything NFL related from the lens of, is from a gambling lens. But the line closed in the Chiefs game at -9.5, and the Chiefs punter on the last play of the game to run off clock, they were up 9 or 10. I think they're up 10, I think it was. Yeah, and he took the ball and he ran it directly backwards and then sideways out of the back of the end zone, which caused the safety, which gave whoever the hell they were playing, I can't remember, 2 points. So now they were no longer covering the spread. So that's where the conspiracy theorists, if I was one, would leak in a little bit, is to say, hey, Vegas or the bigger gambling markets, I don't think that they pick up the phone and say, hey, I need you to do this thing to make the score, but I think there's other ways for them to manipulate it, including the refs, and if you hate a team, like everybody hates a team, the Kansas City Chiefs, outside of Missouri and Kansas, you're going to focus on the, when good things happen to them or things that are slightly sketchy, it's going to be amplified. We'll say that.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, there's been plenty of cases too, though, of where players and teams have been caught throwing games on purpose because they make more money from throwing the game and gambling than they do from winning.
Yeah, that was a bigger problem before NIL came around in college and before professionals made the kind of money they make nowadays. But it's still, and with sports betting coming to the forefront, there's such a more of a focus on it to catch cheaters and to catch refs that may be on the take or players. I mean, you've probably seen articles this year. There's been 3 or 4. I know for sure at least one NBA player that is going to go to jail lost his career because he was placing parlays on himself and basically unders. So like easy to control. I'm just going to miss this free throw. I'm going to brick every shot that I take tonight to make money either on a bet or from the mafia or whoever else was fixing the game.
Yeah,
still crazy. Now, follow-up question to the conspiracy: would you enjoy NFL as much as you do now if it was fake? Would you? Because people love the WWE, like they go bananas for WWE.
I wouldn't, because I feel like that's trash.
It's like reality TV all of a sudden.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Absolutely
like
not. I would hate it. I hate the WWE.
Same.
For that very reason. It's scripted. Like, why would I spend my time? The outcome's already determined, and that's probably why.
How can you hate the WWE?
That's probably why.
I don't love it either.
They gave us The Rock
and
John Cena, just real American heroes.
Those guys are old, and like I guess is the WWE presenting those types of stars in the last decade?
No,
those guys all feel old.
It's the most white trash American thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great business model because there's a constituent of 13 to 23-year-old men that love it and grow up on it and will pay for it. But
if anyone from the WWE is listening, we would like if you sponsored us, even though we're not
Monday Night Raw, dude.
Well, Marcus seems to be all in. Sorry, I'm just a guest.
I think it's the lamest shit in the world, but just The Rock and John Cena made it worth it.
Well, yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. All right.
Okay. My number 3. Olympic gymnastics. Men and women's. Mostly women's. But I did gymnastics. And obviously, I'm not traveling all over the world. So I'm going to go on TV for that one. Just based on circumstance. But the other thing too is that I did gymnastics, and like it's kind of hectic at a gymnastics meet. Like, like you watch the Olympics on TV, and when gymnastics comes up, they're only showing like obviously one person at a time. So like if Simone Biles is on floor, you're gonna watch Simone Biles on floor. Any other Americans on the team are like doing something, that's what you're gonna watch. But at a gymnastics meet, while Simone's on floor, someone else from a different country's vaulting, someone's on bars, and someone's on beam. So it's all happening at the same time. So it gets kind of hectic, like at an actual gymnastics meet, because you're like, whoa, there's like a lot to watch. And I feel like that'd be hard at the Olympics.
Yeah, imagine being there with ADHD and you just don't know what to look at.
Yeah, and like they announce, like obviously, like everyone, like when Simone Biles is going on floor, they're gonna announce it in the whole arena because like she's the best that there has ever been. So like you'll know like what event they're on, but I'm just saying it's very different in person than it is on TV watching gymnastics. But I love the Olympics in general, and if I didn't love football so much, I think I would have like this list like half summer Olympic sports and half winter Olympic sports because I live for the Olympics when they come around. I just love it so much.
Makes sense.
Like this past year, all I did was watch the Olympics. I hijacked the TV at work and all we watched were the Olympics every day.
I remember this. Wait,
Yeah.
it was
At
during, yeah, we had like
at
drill weekend.
AT?
Yeah, AT. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
at AT and at work. Both.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with NHL.
Hell yeah.
Just grew up
That's
on it. A lot
my
of
honorable
nostalgia.
mention. One of my
And
honorable mentions.
I struggle with football just because how many commercial breaks there are. And I can't stand watching commercials and doing commercial breaks.
Yeah.
I
There's
like the NHL would be better in person than on TV. I would say as
100%.
well.
What do you
I
say
watch
that?
a
It's just
lot
so
of it
hard.
on TV.
It's hard to track the puck. I think as Americans, it's like it's not something we play a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm married to a Canadian. I love hockey. Uh, it is completely different. It's like their NFL, obviously, but it's
Mhm.
so much better in person than it is on TV. It's just
Oh,
it's
totally
such a
agree.
more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch it enough, I feel like yeah, I guess maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how your eyesight is. I feel like you can kind of see it's more, you're looking at stick movement more than the puck.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't know.
easy to lose it, that's for sure. Like, I mean, it's tiny.
It's
And when
also,
you're up in the nosers, sometimes you're like, wait,
yeah,
where did oh, there it is. There we go. Okay.
yeah. And then, like, it's kind of like soccer, there's triangles, right? So if you play, you look at the formation of people and you're going to know where the puck is. So like
Yeah,
there's an amount of knowledge that I guess you're kind of required for it to be able to actively watch it and get it.
for sure.
Because
Watching
I
little
grew up.
kids play hockey, that's rough, bro. My brother played hockey, and dude, it's like watching kids play baseball. You're just like, oh fuck.
Please, who's gonna put him down? Just take him out
Yeah,
back and put him
it's just
down.
it's a rough watch, but like, yeah, professional hockey's awesome.
Yeah.
I think the hard part about hockey, again, is being from the U.S. It's like the feeder system. Like in college football, you get to know the guys, and then they become NFL players.
Yeah,
In college basketball, if they play even for 1 year at NCAA and they make the tournament, you might at least have a chance of knowing them before they go to the NBA. There's nothing like that
right.
that we see in NHL. It's
Mhm.
like some Swedish dude is the number one pick, and if he's a phenom, you'll see him maybe on a Sports Center, or if you get to watch the game, you'll see him in a game. But like, there's no connection to or background knowledge of, and I think that's like the Olympics. Why it's so cool every 4 years is, and I think it's cooler for female fans too, to an extent, because they tell the story, the backstory of the athlete. Like you get those little like
Oh yeah.
10-minute cutouts of this person saved somebody from a shark attack, and now they're a surfer, and like you get invested in them, even the 10-minute spurts, and then you watch them go win a Olympic gold medal or whatever. There's just
Oh
like
yeah.
there's more of a story, more connection than like NHL. It's like, okay, dude that doesn't speak English is awesome on ice,
Yeah.
and they're fun
Here's
to
a
watch, but
here's a 6'2"
100%.
ogre with only 3 teeth, and he's
Yeah.
the best
right.
player in the world.
Alexander Ovechkin. It's amazing.
Exactly. And sorry, I was trying to think of a way to say it without sounding like a pervert, but for Olympic gymnastics, like I love watching the women's gymnastics. I
Yeah.
don't want
Mhm.
anything to do with the men's gymnastics. Like I have, and it's not because I think they're like hot or anything. It's just like I think it's because they're like these
Mhm.
tiny little kids that are incredible and can flip, 10 feet in the air. It's just like incredible to watch. But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to watch the dudes do gymnastics at all because it's like I can barely do a pull up, and this dude's like, pulling himself to the ceiling on some rings and stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. The women's gymnastics is phenomenal.
Yeah. I like both. Definitely I lean more towards loving women's gymnastics. I just think, especially in America, we like when you think about gymnastics, you typically think about women's gymnastics. That's just like how it is. But the men's gymnastics this past Olympics was quite entertaining to watch. It was pretty awesome. Um, Yeah.
And we America have been phenomenal at women's gymnastics for a very long time.
Oh
just
yeah,
like
and I think that's why
basketball.
there's so much. Yeah, I think that's why there's just so much media around women's gymnastics specifically.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I agree. All right, well, I'll go with my next one, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the total nerd alert.
No way! Is that a
You thought I was
sport?
going to say?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, it's a sport.
He wrote
What?
World Series of Poker.
World
That's
Series
a
of Poker.
sport?
Hell's yeah! It's look up the definition of sport, and it would apply. Basically, competition.
What?
That's the Foxy's truncated version of it. If it's not a sport, I'll pick another one. But I'm going to tell you why.
I'm
I
googling.
fucking love watching World Series of Poker. I miss the heyday, like 2002, 2003, where the poker boom took over and just consumed America. Back when you could actually gamble online legally and play poker online. But it is just it's kind of like Marcus's disc golf or you with gymnastics, like something that you love to do. You can consume it a lot easier. And I would sit there and watch hours and hours and hours of these smelly dudes around a table talking shit and losing potentially millions of dollars with their decisions or winning millions of dollars with their decisions. But yeah, it's captivating, and I miss it.
I've already
Oh.
made the reality TV analogy, but I'm going to make it again. It's literally reality TV for men.
So
It is.
I googled is the World Series of Poker a sport?
Yeah.
It said it's a
What it said.
mind sport. I don't
Is chess a sport?
personally. It says
a
it's a
mind
mind
sport.
sport. So
Chess is a mind sport.
as much as I love that you poured your heart out into World Series of Poker, it's up to Marcus because my
No,
vote's
no,
no.
I vote indifference. It's up to you.
I
I
changed it.
okay.
I was ready for
Ooh.
this hate. I was ready for this hate.
It's
and
not
I will
hate.
say,
It's just the truth.
well, your quick Google
Mm.
search that you looked at the AI's response on, fine, whatever.
Oh
gonna
my
come with-
god.
I'm going to come with what might be the most incredibly fun / anxiety riddled thing to watch in person.
Oof.
I am very squeamish as dudes are getting just taking knees to the head, getting
Yeah.
knocked unconscious, just blood everywhere. It grosses me out, and I literally watch through my fingers, like my finger glasses,
Mhm.
But the UFC, I went to UFC in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena
Oh,
there.
that's insane.
It was so electric, and it was just every fight was better than the last one. The arena, I mean,
Mhm.
it was like 6 dudes to 1 woman. It was a very male-oriented thing. I was in the
Mhm.
nosebleeds, and it was probably the most entertaining, anxiety-riddled sporting event I'd ever been to in my life. And I would
Wow.
watch it on TV, and it's incredible. I'm not a UFC fan, but for watching it on TV or in person was out of this world cool. And I'll change that instead of World Series of Poker because you are haters.
Mm.
Wow, that's a good one. I forgot about UFC.
I didn't even think
It's
about it.
so entertaining. We just watched whatever the last fights were that were huge. We bought them and watched them, and it was
Pay-per-view.
freaking awesome. Yeah, yeah. But like, I love watching UFC. I've never been to one in person, but
Oh,
sounds
it's rad.
sounds awesome.
We should plan a trip. How much were
Well,
the
we need,
tickets?
Vegas.
we need to plan a Vegas trip in general.
Yeah. How
Yes,
much
we
were
do.
the tickets for that, if you don't mind saying?
They were $300.
Oh,
And that was for it was like a 9-hour event from start to finish,
Yeah.
from the
Whoa.
undercard and then
They're
the
long.
main card. Super long, but fights went every like 15 minutes. And like I said, they were it was captivating. You could sit there on your phone and bet each fight, and I didn't know anything about it. I went with my cousin and my brother-in-law, and
Mhm.
they are huge UFC nerds. And I was just literally like, I have a hard time watching people just get this shit kicked out of them.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you, it was such an electric atmosphere that I cannot recommend it enough.
Oh,
If you can make it through that
sounds amazing.
event.
Well, $300. All we gotta do is hit the slots for a couple of days, and we should be
Uh,
able to scrounge up $300. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's also like, I
I
mean,
can.
if you go
I
to
We'll just
can.
any
book, we'll just
show
book
in
it
Vegas,
first.
like
Yeah, exactly.
any show is going to be $300 unless you
Yeah.
want to not see it from the nosebleeds.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem just paying $300 to go to a UFC fight. I don't know when I'd ever go to one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we plan our next a Vegas trip around UFC fights, and we all go together.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, it
Wow.
would
I'm
be
down.
really fun. It would be very fun.
That's okay. So, like, I've only ever been to Vegas once on my own accord.
Mhm.
My take on Vegas is I don't like it. I don't know if it would be different if I went with a group of like friends that, I chose to go with, and our entire purpose was to stay as a group and go places and have fun. I think it would
I
be
think
different.
I think you'd have a lot of fun,
Well, I'm not
personally.
saying that I didn't have a lot of fun when we like all those Vegas trips. Cause I mean, what I've been to Vegas like 5 or 6 times on behalf of the Air Force, and each time it's like 2 or 3 weeks. And like, yeah,
Yeah.
you go out and you have a lot of fun, but it's not necessarily the people you want to go with,
Right.
because you're going with your work friends. I'm not saying that I dislike my work friends. I'm just saying, like, if I'm gonna go
No.
buck wild in
Yeah.
Vegas, I'm not gonna get as wild as I want to get unless I'm around the exact people that I want to be around.
Mhm.
So maybe that's a part of why I didn't like Vegas.
I
But I
think
also just
Vegas.
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think knowing you like I do, you're a bit more introverted. I think Vegas is tough for introverts. And large groups obviously is never fun for
Yeah.
introverts. But like my favorite way to do Vegas is like three dudes, uh, guys weekend, football, betting in person, maybe some poker tournaments. Like go drink, go have fun. If you wander off on your own to play a slot machine or go, make some bets, like you come back together, you grab chow together, you grab a drink, but like you don't have to be together the entire time. That's my favorite way. My second favorite way is like a small group, like, 2 or 3 couples, and you've got a show planned, you've got a spa day, you've got, some gambling. Like you do all of the really fun Vegas things, but you don't push it up every single night. I think part of the problem that you're like, you don't love the thought of Vegas is because you've always been there working a lot. You're
Yeah.
there for 3 weeks, and more than 3 days in Vegas is too many days in Vegas if you're
That's
pushing
what
it up.
I was just gonna say.
And
Like, Vegas, I feel like is better in small doses, and we get a large dose when we go with the Air Force, and it's almost like you get sick of it by day 4. You're like, all right, I'm fucking,
yep,
but there's nothing else to do. It's like, well, I'm either gonna sit in
right,
my hotel room or I'm gonna go out and do something fun. But yeah, I feel like smaller doses, like a long weekend in Vegas, is like perfect. You're like, okay, I've had enough. And like Foxy's saying, you don't have to push it up every day like we do. We get off of work, we just want to go have fun. We're gonna go out, we're gonna drink. But like, yeah, you don't. I mean, there's so many other things to do too.
Yeah. Well, I guess, but the other part of my thing is I don't really enjoy just like partying like that. So one, that's already a
Yeah.
strike against Vegas. Two, I don't care for gambling.
Hmm.
So that's a second strike. So,
Well, that's why Foxy was saying, like, go to a show, spa
yeah.
day, pool day, you
It's just,
know?
and now it's tough to go to shows because we went to what's the name of it? The one that was at Caesars.
Oh, I don't remember.
It was
The
in the
funny one?
tent. Yeah, it's a comedy
Yeah.
show too, but it's in the tent outside. It's not poison, but it's something.
No, wait, I'm
Anthrax?
gonna look it up. No. Wait, no, I don't think so.
It's something with an A.
Biggest show, circus tent.
I think Foxy ran off.
Absinthe. Yeah,
Absinthe.
he said absinthe.
Yeah.
What's the second one? The absinthe, but it's like the
Oh yeah, it's a
one where
Cosmo.
you're in. Yeah.
Ah,
I was taking an old man bladder break and yelling at the
Oh.
top of my lungs, absinthe, absinthe,
We
the
heard
entire
it. We
time.
heard it. We heard it. I got it eventually.
The one at the Cosmo
Opium.
was
Opium. Yeah.
it was called Opium. It's now gone. And then they have a third one called the Atomic Saloon Show that's at the Venetian, and it is
Oh.
garbage.
Okay.
Oh, is the Atomic Saloon the one with like the guys and gals and like that one? Like the
Yep,
old
there's guys and
Western
there's
one?
gals. Yes.
Damn it.
It's lots of like just homophobic jokes and singing, and it's just absinthe is like infinity out of 10, just like whatever it was earlier. But like, and Opium was really solid too, but Atomic Saloon is very bad.
I didn't like
was
Opium.
hilarious. You didn't like it?
There were a couple of funny skits, but most of it was just
Yeah, it was weird.
Meh,
I
like
did like
the
the
weird-
balloon man, or the bubble guy.
yeah, and like that's
Yeah.
I like the Bubble show, but it's not incredible. It was just interesting. It was kind of like an art
Yeah.
show. And
Yeah.
then like the weird guy climbing in the giant condom thing talking about giving birth. Like it was just like an
Yeah,
art
that's
show.
right. It was yeah. Yeah,
It
it
was
was
weird.
it was interesting. I
If it
definitely
was
should have drank
100
a little bit more before I went there.
If it was $100 cheaper, I would have liked it more. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Have you guys been to a Cirque show in Vegas?
Yeah.
I've never done a Cirque du Soleil show.
So I find them to be very expensive naps most of the time.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
a fan either.
Yeah, I've been to like 2 or 3 of them, but I went to one. I was there in July, and I went to one called the Mad Apple. It's at New York, and it's like a live orchestra band, like raunchy comedy.
Oh,
It's kind of like Absinthe. It's like a raunchy version of a Cirque show, and it was unbelievably awesome. So
Oh,
that's my
wow.
plug for good.
I saw
shows in
the
Vegas.
Cirque
Yeah.
show that was Zoo Mania or something like that. It's the nude one. It's like a burlesque version of it. It's
Yeah,
not like
Zoomanity.
Zoomanity, that's what it is.
interesting.
And
And
yeah, I saw it
Good.
after seeing. So Absinthe was the first show I ever saw. It was the second show.
ruined.
Zombie Burlesque was number 1. Absinthe was
Rip.
number
Let's
2.
go.
And then I went to Zoomtopia or Zoomania or whatever it is, and
Humanity, bro.
I was like,
Sorry.
what this?
Humanity,
I
God.
was so bored.
R.I.P.
So bored. It was so
to
boring.
Humanity. But
Yeah.
did we go to Zombie Burlesque together? Or did I just recommend that one to you?
I went with Baloo, and that might be on my list of memories. So, if you were there with Baloo
Oh,
and
very
Jeffries, Old Squirrel was there too. So I feel like you probably would have been there.
I probably would have been there. Yeah, I definitely highly recommend it because I've seen that show like 3 times. I love that show.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Anyway, whose turn is
Yeah.
it? We went
it's
on
mine.
a tangent.
Yeah, Vegas.
Vegas,
Shocker.
baby.
We talked about Vegas. I knew it was gonna happen. Okay. I love watching ice skating on
Oh
TV.
God.
Duh. But I love it. I think it's because my mom used to watch it when I was a kid all the time. And my mom watched it because my grandma loves it. And I don't know. I just find it really entertaining. And then like ice skating, ice dancing, anytime the Olympics roll around, like, man, it's nuts. Like, and it's so insane. Like, one bobble, one fall, you're done. You're done.
Dead.
Yeah, you're out. Sorry. You're totally done. You're screwed.
Slim,
Perfectionist sport.
have you ever ice skated before?
Oh yeah, I'm terrible at it. Absolutely terrible.
Oh man, I
It's
just ice
rough.
skated for the first time on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, how's your tailbone?
I ate shit like six times. It's
Yeah.
it's just full respect for ice skaters and hockey players because
Yeah, it's super hard, and like it hurts when you eat shit.
You know what's funny?
Ice is hard.
Even when I was playing hockey,
and confirm.
and like had ice skated my whole life. Hold on, what's sorry. My dog, Margot, had a vomit session earlier, and she's making noises. I wasn't sure if she was gonna vomit again or if she's just barking. She's just barking.
Oh, good.
I've always sucked at skating without a stick. Like I could barely skate.
It's a crutch.
It's like a balancing stick.
Yeah.
It's hard without it.
That was my problem. I didn't have a stick.
Yep, exactly. Next time, bring a stick.
Yeah,
and you
I
can
don't know.
fuck someone up when you fall down. Just take their face off with.
I don't know. I just also wanted to include like a winter Olympic sport. Honorable mentions for me. I'll just go ahead and say them. Baseball. I do enjoy an in-person baseball game.
In person.
Yeah. I do enjoy an in-person baseball game.
Oh yeah.
In-person hockey games, super entertaining. And then like any ski, snowboarding sports, like half pipe type crap.
Cross country.
Nah, well, kind of. I don't know. I love the Winter Olympics. I just love all Olympic sports. But like snowboarding half pipe is like unreal. It's insane and it's so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Marcus.
This last one is tough because I'll say my honorable mentions first, and then I think I know which one I'm gonna put on there. Because I grew up on the Winter Olympics too, so pretty much all of the Olympic winter sports are on there, but specifically ski jump. Ski jump.
Oh yeah.
We used to lose our shit watching ski jump. Also because Finland was really good at it, so we would always just be absolutely nuts because they were so good. And so we're always like rooting for our people to win.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. Football on there, but then there's also like the racing sports like Formula 1 and the World Rally Cup. Since I grew up on those, is like my whole childhood. But I think the winner from all of the amount of time I've spent watching any sport, this one is probably the most watched, so I kind of have to go with it. It's Counter-Strike, which is an esport.
Are you kidding me?
Counter-Strike.
If FOXY's not allowed to put a mind sport.
Yeah, what the hell is this?
If there's no mind sport, I feel like esports shouldn't be allowed.
It's literally in the name.
So is a mind sport.
Yeah, I actually completely support World Series of Poker and chess. And I mean, if it's in the Olympics, it's a sport. And if chess is in there, it should be poker as well.
It's not. Chess is not in the Olympics anymore.
Oh, it's not? Oh.
No.
Well, table tennis is.
Check myself.
And that's on the same level.
Yeah, but breakdancing is.
Yeah.
Breakdancing's off the table after these last Olympics. It's already gone. They already said it's not coming back.
Is it?
Yeah, no, they said it's not coming back in LA because LA is the next Summer Olympics, and they were like, no. God, I would love to go to the LA Olympics, but LA is going to be a disaster zone during it, so probably best just to avoid. Okay, wait.
And if you don't
Yes.
think esports is a real sport, a lot of people will disagree with you. One, look at the name. Two, the prize pools. It's a serious thing. You might think it's silly, but they have like Counter-Strike has a tournament probably every month, probably close to every single month, where all the top teams in the world play, and each one of those tournaments, the prize pool is $10 to $20 million. So
Whoop-de-doo.
probably make more money as an esports person versus like, I don't know, some random special teams football person.
Yeah.
It's also way
maybe.
harder. It's actually
Absolutely.
it's way more difficult to be a successful esports person because there's so many more people participating.
Hmm.
And it's not as mainstream as far as the prize pools
Right.
and purses and stuff are
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah, I think like the pro team count right now, it fluctuates between 12 and 18 for every country and like total. And there's countries like teams from every country in the world. And so like not even every country gets a representative. Some random team might pick up a random player from a random country, but
do you know, looking at these answers, how I can tell that we are all in the Air Force is when we got to the sports category, we went with Counter-Strike, World Series of Poker, and ice skating as top 4 Mount Rushmore sports.
That's true. At least ice skating's a
That-
real fucking sport. Christ.
no, it's not.
You guys are over here saying esports and mind sports. I'm the only one with 4 real sports on my list.
All right,
This
not
is
Googling.
BS.
What is your definition of sports? Not the Google AI. What is Olivia AI's?
True.
I don't know. A fucking game you play.
Okay,
Either
so so both of us are sports.
No, I
Thanks
guess.
for making my point.
No,
Walked
No,
into that
it's-
one. That was way
it's a
easier than I
A
thought.
game that you play where there's physical activity and training, and you're not sitting in a chair.
So you don't think that poker players train or esports people train?
They train, but I said it has to be physical.
How much physical?
Lots.
Also, I just heard Slim say that the Paralympic people aren't real athletes because they're sitting down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Way to
damn
go.
it.
Wow.
No.
Oh.
I was saying that because
Wow.
I was
Yeah.
specifically saying
Wow.
that because
There's no takebacks, dude. You're done. You're
No.
canceled.
Hashtag canceled.
no.
Canceled.
Let it be known. Let it be known that I did not mean that. I meant because if you're playing
I just said it, but I didn't mean it.
No, I didn't mean it like that. If you're like playing Counter-Strike, you're obviously going to be sitting in a chair in front of a computer screen. And if you're playing poker, you're obviously sitting in a chair at a table. I meant that as a dig to both of you, not to anyone's abilities.
Right.
Well,
what about Special Olympics esports or like special esports?
What?
Yeah, they have leagues where it's people with special needs.
Okay.
So what about them? Are they allowed to call it sports?
I'm not getting myself
like-
into a pickle here. Yeah. No comment. I mean, yeah, sure.
So there you go.
Wanna
All
take-
right.
This
Sports.
turned
That's what I hear.
turned terrible quickly.
I feel bad. All right. My honorable mentions were ice hockey and Olympic women's beach volleyball. Let's go.
Hell yeah,
Damn
brother.
it. All men are the same. I had
NFL is
faith.
like, I don't really want to do.
We are all the same, and that's
All
why
right.
we're better.
I bet Eddie wouldn't say women's volleyball.
Not to you.
To you.
Whatever.
I don't want to get
I'll
Eddie in
text him.
trouble, so
No, Eddie's are probably soccer, football, hockey,
Women's beach volleyball.
Rocket League.
Esports.
Yeah,
esports.
if esports count, Rocket League's on his list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Marcus. I think it's your turn to kick off the old 1/16th memories. Here comes
This one,
the
you know,
waterworks. I'm just kidding.
I feel like I'm forgetting so many.
Oh, same.
Like there's, I'm gonna do my best, but there's gotta be some. So, in no particular order, since we already talked about this, zombie burlesque
Go.
with
They could sponsor the show.
Baloo. Actually, I'll leave that part out. But he was there.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe that he went and he loved it and it was great. And I'm pretty sure you were there, Foxy. It
I'm pretty
was
sure I was too.
you, Squirrel, Doyle, me. I don't remember who else.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what like something meaningful to say about this. I just can't. It's just a great show.
Did the guy you mentioned earlier, did he have a drink with us that night? I can't remember. Because that was a pretty rare event. I can say that I got graced by the presence of the formerly mentioned with an alcoholic beverage, which I felt like I was on the inner circle when that happened.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yes, that was that night.
Yeah, that was a great night.
Yes, it was. And what else do I have to say about it?
Wish I could have been there before
Shoulda,
my
woulda, coulda.
time.
Coulda, woulda.
Yeah, I could have joined before I was 18, I guess, but whatever.
You should go next time you go. You should go to it.
Hopefully, the next time I'm in Vegas, it's with all of you boneheads.
I so
go.
badly want to tell you how the show ends, but I won't. Like I just have this urge to
No,
tell
don't
you
tell
because
me
it's so
anything.
good. I won't. I won't.
Don't tell me
It's-
anything. I want to be surprised.
Since we're back on the Vegas shows, it is the best show in Vegas for the money. Like it's a
Really?
$50 ticket. It
Oh,
is
okay.
hilarious. There's dancing. There's partial nudity. It's just like a laugh out loud for an hour and
Sign
a
me
half.
up.
And there's Jello shots. They hand out Jello shots to the entire crowd.
Score.
So it's just very, very, very funny. And
It's everything.
like I said, for the price, it's a great show. It's
Heck
my
yeah.
after Absinthe, it's my first show that I recommend to everybody in Vegas.
Heck yeah. Perfect.
Go. All right, Foxy, you're
All
up.
right. Oh man. All right. I think I'm going to do these in the order of hilarity. That's what I'm going to do. The order my least favorite to my most favorite. We'll say that.
Okay.
So I don't think either of you were there for this. And I try to keep my story since I'm way older than you guys to stuff that you might remember.
Way
besides
older.
This one.
What's way older? Like 5 years?
Well, I retired from the military already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
But you
after 20
started
years,
when you were like 16.
He's like 20 years
I was-
older than me.
born
I'm
it.
just
Easy,
kidding.
Slow. Easy.
I'm kidding.
Mark, I don't know. Marcus, what are you, 33?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 8 years older than you, and way, way older than Slim, like she said, at least twice her age.
Almost twice your age. Yeah,
anyway.
it's close.
Yeah,
So-
you're getting close.
I have a lot of stories, like you said, I forgot a bunch, but this one will be quick. We were down in Fallon, Nevada, and we were down there. It was like 120 degrees every day. We had to drive. We were basically out driving convoys, and they would fly the F-18s out of Fallon. They would fly them around, and it would be like them doing their preparatory stuff before they would go over on the ship or over to Afghanistan, and looking for bad guys to kill. And we would go out in the desert and we would be acting as like convoy, op 4, or we would be either good guys or bad guys. So good guy convoy that they had to protect, or bad guy convoy that they had to find and kill. And we were out there. It was a 100-mile drive before we got to the site, and then we would disperse into the mountains and stuff for them to find us. This particular day, it was like 120. We were in 5 tons Humvees, just no AC, windows down, just sweating our balls off the entire time. 100 miles out there. We worked for like 5 hours, running through the desert, getting out, whatever. And it's like the end of this 2-week TDY where we did this pretty much every day. And long story short, we're driving back, and I'm in the second to last Humvee. My co-pilot is asleep. She's passed out. So I'm driving, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and the last Humvee, we're driving down the highway at like maybe 45 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. The last Humvee behind me, I see it just kind of start to tilt and then go off the highway at 45 miles an hour. And it goes at a 45-degree angle off the highway at 50 miles an hour and shoots off into the Nevada desert about 500 meters, just completely bouncing like a toy Tonka truck up and down for 500 meters.
Oh my gosh.
And I freak, I slam the brakes on, I whip around, go see if, somebody got flung out or somebody died or whatever happened. And like eagerly, this Humvee stops and then turns to the 45-degree angle back slowly and drives back to the highway. And I pull up next to him, and the guy that was driving the Humvee, he was an A1C at the time, he had fallen asleep at the wheel. And
no way!
Right off the highway, 500 meters off. And the crazy part is his passenger was like a staff sergeant or senior airman at the time. One of our maintenance dudes. I think he's probably still in the 116th today. Shout out to Ray Kane. He was asleep in the passenger seat, and these Humvees did not have doors on them. So, and he was not buckled. So the fact that he didn't get ejected from the Humvee to come up the highway is unbelievable to this day, and I cannot believe it. But that's my fourth story.
That's a crazy story.
That's extreme.
Yeah, and 100% truth as well. Crazy story.
That's nuts. Oh man.
I mean, that's how you hear all those army stories. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's every other month. It's like some story of army being out training somewhere and somebody died from flipping a vehicle on a back road somewhere.
Well, it's funny you say that, because the guy that was in charge, he was a brand new captain to the unit, and he was former Army. He just converted to Air Force. It was the worst. It was like one of the worst TDYs ever because of that guy. It had this really cool moment. The very last mission that we did, we were sitting in, I'm not kidding you, it was like this oasis. It was this road in between these swamps with these like palm trees. I'm not kidding you. Like everything else is dead. It's Nevada desert. But this like one little spot had water, had cows. We pulled up all of our cars in a convoy looking, one direction. And we're out there, everybody's taking a leak, drinking, eating, whatever, before we make this long trek back. And the F-18s on the very last day, they came down to, I'm not kidding you, probably 200 feet above the convoy.
Wow.
Completely blasted over top of us before shooting back up to whatever altitude they needed to be at.
That's cool.
Freedom boner.
It was a surprise, and it was, complete freedom boner. It was amazing. So.
That's awesome. It's a whole body boner.
Exactly.
I'm standing at attention everywhere.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Everywhere.
My ankles are torqued.
Oh, just super quick. Speaking of that, no, I'm just kidding. But at work the other day, we have like a radar feed where like it'll show call signs and stuff. I'm just trying to explain for people who don't understand what we do. But this call sign popped up and it was like Thunderbird 08. And we were like, and it said it was an F-16. And we're like, there's no fucking way it's a Thunderbird. And sure as shit, we go outside and there's a Thunderbird. And I guess he was like surveying the airspace for like an air show that's coming up out here. and the
Yeah.
Thunderbirds are coming, and like it was the 2-seater trainer, and we basically got like just a one-man Thunderbird show for like 10 minutes, and we were like, what the fuck? We're like, this is awesome.
It reminds me of
But it's so
freaking
funny.
Aldafra.
Oh
Prince.
god, dude.
Yeah,
the prince, man.
the prince that would fly his F-16 around and give us a free show every day for
Especially,
like 5 hours.
yeah, it was especially awesome working nights when he was doing that.
Oh.
The worst.
Dude, it would wake me up so many times. I was like, oh, there he goes again.
Just literally burning
Prince.
holes in the sky.
Speaking of 1/16th memories, I
Yeah.
think you guys might tell me to piss off with this whole thing, but
Piss
like
off.
the entire deployment, like, god, dude, just what a series of memories that happened on that entire deployment.
Yeah.
There's so
Every
many.
deployment.
Most notable, meeting my husband Eddie.
Oh god, piss off. Ugh. Oh, sorry. That was my outside voice.
No, that's fine. Yeah, just that whole deployment. It was my only deployment. A lot of memories that come from that. One of
Mhm.
them might come up later.
Mhm.
But meeting
Oh, we have
Eddie.
the same story.
Yes, I'm gonna make you tell it this time. Then I'll make you tell it, and then I'll come up with a different one.
No,
I'll
you
put
can
it
fill
in
in the blanks.
Okay, perfect.
I'll never forget, without saying, I don't know what I can even say, but I'll never forget when we were there, 2019, and you were sitting scope. I was
Yeah,
done. I was waiting for a
yeah,
meeting, and one of the airmen from active duty was like, "Hey, Major Berman, I think you should go out to the floor." I go, "Why?" He's like, "I can't tell you." I was like, "Okay," and I was like, I'm not on shift, but I'll go out there." And I've never seen Little Slim more pale, ghosty white than that event.
yeah.
We'll just keep it at that.
Yeah, we'll just say there's a real world event that was happening, and
Yes.
yeah, that's all that's encompassed in the deployment bullet right there. I didn't know how much I should be saying in an open forum either, but we'll just say there was some real world shit going on, and I was very scared.
You handled it like a professional, though. You were amazing.
Oh, gracias. I was not okay.
Had to change your
Those-
drawers after you stepped off scope, but
Those next 2 weeks were so stupid. It was the stupidest
Oh,
time in the military.
Literally the worst.
was it more stupid than when we got locked down on base because COVID happened?
See,
I
that's
think
why-
so. I
That's
think
what
so.
I'm saying, dude. This deployment had so many. Like, I know you guys say it's every deployment where there's just so many memories, but I feel like this one was just especially like, are you fucking kidding me?
In the bad
everything.
format, I feel like most deployments you have more good memories because
For sure.
you're like out in the
yeah.
bar every night having a great time.
Yeah. This one was like, God, there's real shit happening. Fuck.
Yeah, we couldn't do shit. Yeah, just sitting on scope in full body armor and helmet in a
Literally.
fucking metal box that's if war kicks off in the Middle East with Iran, we're like target number 1. There's going to be 500 missiles that hit us, and we're sitting here with our fucking Kevlar helmet on. I'm like, what the hell is this going to do? I'm going to get hit by like ICBMs. Why am I wearing body armor? I'm going to get evaporated no matter what. I just have to be hot and uncomfortable. This is so stupid.
People snow.
And the saddest part is that mine was so heavy. Like, that shit's heavy. And I was like, there's no way I could carry my bag all the way, so I just was wearing it everywhere.
Yeah.
People are looking at me like I'm crazy, and I was like, you guys don't know how heavy this shit is, man. I can't carry it. I'm just gonna wear it. Oh, that was
idiotic.
So that's why I put like that deployment. Like, I can't possibly talk about every single memory, like it. But I mean, the most notable, obviously, and most important meeting of my lover. Anyway,
Gay.
whatever. I'm happy.
I think my favorite deployment memory was just, well, one, there was a female captain who I won't name drop, but she's the most dramatic human ever, and that was, you guys know who I'm talking about. Hilarious.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Dairy Queen, and finding Chief Wilson sleeping in that like back office in the morale thing, like almost daily. He was just in there with the lights off, just sleeping.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on
He's-
nights, so I didn't know about that.
Junks is down in Reno today with my mom and dad, and he asked for the password
No
to get in
way.
here and set you guys straight. So I told him no, go pound sand.
Another day.
Yeah.
Other day.
Another day. All right, is it my turn?
Yep.
I think next I'll do. I think I got to do this one. 2015 spin up. Liv, you weren't there, but Foxy was.
No.
Yep.
Now, it was probably a lot the same for the 2019 spin up. So many people stayed, but in 2019 I had moved out to the coast, so I had my house here, so I didn't stay at Gearhart by the Sea. But in 2015, I was like 23.
It was just a party.
23, and we were just partying it up because it's right across the street from the McMinimans bar. And Benson and I just got to be like homies. And so this is like my version of partying. I was 23 hanging out with Benson, who's like 38, and we're just like sitting there just being complete nerds talking about dumb shit, sitting at the bar like till 3 a.m. until they close, like being just best friends with the bartender. And like everyone else is out like doing shots and just dumb stuff. We're just sitting at the bar just talking about freaking superheroes and whatever other random shit that we talked about with the bartender.
That's awesome.
But the whole spin up, one, I think also that, Foxy, you'll have to give your take on this, but every spin up you go through, the next one is less scary. So like that 2015 was my first one. There was a lot of nerves and we were just having a ton of fun. The mission seemed like, I mean, we're going to a place where we're not even gonna get shot at. But the mission for like what we were doing was so life and death because it's your first time and you're getting ready. You're spending all this time to get really good at your job and it's so serious, but then you're just making all these memories and have a great time. And then you get downrange and you're shitting your pants. And then, the whole process is just.
Yeah,
so
man.
Good.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
for
2015.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, for those that don't know what Gearhart by the Sea is, it's this giant condo hotel complex, quite literally on the beach overlooking the Pacific Ocean. And it's, like I said, I was 23 at the time, and all of my best friends in the military are all about, the same age. And we all have our own condo to ourselves for a month. Yeah. And they're fully furnished, full kitchen. It's incredible. And we're just having the time of our life getting ready for this deployment. And it was just amazing.
Yeah.
That's not where I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to tell a much darker story. But your spin up was not much different than mine. Except for we had a real world, not real world. Yeah. What was the MTV show where they all were in the house together? Was it Real World?
Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, all of those. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Big
was like
Brother.
Real World, but we got this big house on the beach in Seaside, and six of us officers stayed there together. So like instead of getting plastered drunk, we would watch Game of Thrones. So like that was pretty epic. Spin up material, but
Losers.
no, I thought you were going to talk about we had somebody that was supposed to go on the trip with us and then didn't because of DUI and some other things that had happened. But I thought that's where we were going to go with that. But
and you weren't going to stop me? You were just going to let me.
Let's go. Let's go. I want to hear this. Hey, all 7 listeners probably don't even know about the story, so it's fine.
It's true.
But
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It was before your time, Slim. 2015, that spin up was also like a completely different type of control than we'd ever really practiced or worked on. And then we went over it, and we were just absolutely eradicating ISIS in Iraq and Afghanistan and wherever else their heads might pop up out of a hole. And it was to say it was busy was a complete understatement. It was so incredibly stressful. It took me 17 straight days of working double shifts to get qualified on my position. And I would get off scope after 3 hours, and I would have a screaming migraine because it was so stressful. It was so busy, and we just didn't have the highways in the sky and the rules of the road and stuff really doped out very well, like we did in 2019, where it was much easier. It was just like, Jesus, take the wheel. Let's send this tanker and 4 receivers through this stack of airplanes, and hopefully they don't run into each other. There was some of that happening just on the fly, trying to keep everybody safe. So, Wild West.
Heck yeah.
Ooh, you know what? Are you going to talk about Roz FOXY?
No, you can't.
Oh, so restricted operating zone. Airplanes aren't allowed to fly into this thing unless they are allowed to. It's a lot more complicated than that, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
And there's a really big one over, was it Baghdad or was it Ramadi? I feel like it was Ramadi.
Yeah, it was west of Baghdad.
Oh, okay. And it was basically just a restricted operating zone because they were dropping so many bombs that they just made this restricted operating zone, and people would hold out like outside of it and then just fly in when they were ready to drop their bombs. And FOXY was in the mission planning cell who deals with all the products for the entire theater. And we'll just say, we'll talk him up a little bit. We'll say that he was so good at controlling Roz, whatever the Roz name was before. We'll just call it Roz Turd. That one day while rewriting the products, he rewrote the name of this ROZ, which is a restricted operating zone, to his own call sign. He changed the theater document so that people had to start calling it Roz FOXY.
Okay, there's some truth to that.
That deserves one of these. Yeah.
Truth. Actually, what happened is I was in the NPC. I was in charge of products. I was in charge of all that stuff. I had a guy that I went to IQT, which is our training event after our initial air battle manager school, that happened to be working at the KAOC, who was really in charge of all the products. And he was on the phone with me one night after I got off shift, and he's like, "Hey, we need to turn this piece of airspace. Just it needs to be hot all the time. It's whatever." And he goes, "Do you got any ideas what to name it?" And I said, "What about Roz FOXY?"
I like my story better.
Your story is, yeah. And he goes,
10%
"Yeah, sounds
true."
good. And he changed it the next day. So I get back to work the next day, and the mission, all the products have been updated by the night crew, and it's Roz FOXY, Alpha Bravo, and Charlie. And the worst thing about it, and the very short-sighted part of it, which is how I got my call sign, was FOXY on the radio sounds a whole lot like Fox 3, which would have been a real mind bender for anybody controlling in that AO at the time. Like air-to-air missiles are being shot when we're dropping bombs and killing bad guys. So kind of short-sighted, but
worth
it's
it.
a name that shall live in infamy.
Yep.
Worth it.
Totally worth it. All right, am I up for number 2?
Yep.
You're up.
All right, I'm gonna go. This one's just funny. And Slim, you're gonna have to help me with this because of the one night I was
Oh,
driving.
ridiculous! Okay, yeah, I'll help you. Don't worry.
So there we were, all of us,
Yeah.
a very difficult Air Force assignment. In we were in Honolulu,
Honolulu.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
yep.
2.5
We were
weeks.
on yeah, it was awful. Weather was amazing. I mean, terrible. Anyway, we'd been there for a week, and as a group, all like 18 of us or 12 of us, however many were there, decided, hey, let's go to the Hawaiian thing and let's go to this luau. Well, this luau was 25 minutes away from where we were, and well,
It was
Foxy
like
being the
45
responsible
minutes
adult,
away.
it was okay, fine, 45 minutes away. It was
Okay.
a long drive away. And Foxy being the responsible adult in the in the group as per usual would drive
Mm-hmm.
95% of the time so everybody else could drink and have a good time. Well, this
Mm-hmm.
is the one night that I was like, okay, not it for driving because I want to have drinks at the luau. And little Slim said, "Oh, I'll drive." Well, earlier that morning, Slim and Ponzi and I had a mission, and I don't remember exactly what happened. I was driving, and I pulled out of our hotel and may have clipped the curb a little bit with the rental car tire,
May
just
have.
slightly, and
A
no
little
He
bit.
damage was
he slammed the car into the curb.
no visible damage was shown at all on the car or the tire. Anyway, go to work, come back, and we go to the luau. We have this great time, 45 minutes away apparently. And I throw the keys to Slim. I drove there, threw the keys to Slim, said, "Deuces, Foxy 1 is out." The 4 or 5 of us in whatever car I was in took off in a totally different car and left Slim driving the rental car that I had slightly bumped into the curb earlier that day. And we're about 10 minutes. No, you guys actually left ahead of us. And
Yeah.
you guys left ahead of us. We're about 5 minutes behind you. And we see this car pulled over on the side of the road on the highway, a 4-lane highway going back to base. And we drove right by him. And as we drove by, we realized that that was our other group. And there was no way for us to turn around as they were laying on the side of the highway after consuming multiple adult beverages, trying to fix a tire on the side of the road. So just a really funny, memorable moment. Slim remembers slightly different.
May I help you remember a little bit more to
Spice
this?
this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A key thing is that once they realized it was us, everyone was flipping us off in the other car. Without knowing that we were trying to change a flat tire. And let me find it on my phone. And then Marcus, you'll have to teach me how to upload this picture because like I have to put this picture in there.
Okay. You'll have to upload it to the photos folder, and then once it's in the
Oh,
photos folder, what in this whiteboard, you can do the add image and then say from drive, and it'll be like the
okay.
first one.
Okay. Well, I gotta find it on. Oh, maybe it is on my laptop. Anyway, oh wait, could I just drag and drop it from my laptop pictures?
No, but you just have to go to the Google Drive and go to the photos folder and drop it into the photos. It's like 2 more clicks.
Okay.
It's essentially the same thing.
Okay, fine. So I'll go ahead and tell my next story, I guess, and then I'll look for the picture because the people who are watching, and even if you're not watching, you should click on to watch the video just to see this picture because like it's unreal what happened to this tire.
Yeah,
We
we'll say
probably
when
should have
the pic-
swerved off the road and crashed the car, but with me at the helm,
Oh,
we were all right.
It literally
Okay.
exploded.
Another
Spoiler
memory
alert.
from 2019.
Oh, God.
Call sign night during spin up.
I don't think we can say any details though. BT dub.
No,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say any details. If you know type situation, and I hate that it has to be that way. But let's just say there were some very intoxicated people. And another thing is that at this call sign night, it is where I got my call sign Slim, and it will always be very special to me. I barely knew what was going on, but I do remember getting the call sign Slim, because I was also intoxicated. But yeah,
I think
like
there's
I
a
said,
couple things we can mention. Like
okay.
iconic chef as Paula Dean handing out
As
butter
Paula
sticks.
Dean. Yeah, that's so true. There was that. Oh, it was around Halloween too. So like we all were dressed up in Halloween costumes. I was Guy Fieri. That was a sight to see.
It's true. That was iconic also. You actually looked like
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, Chef as Paula Dean. A lot of people were in the like animal onesies. That was very popular.
Vinny as the Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, you were wearing the one with your like the German
lead,
guy.
The leader hosen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this? Okay, we're in 2021, so that's good. Oh, here's a bunch of Hawaii pictures. Anyway,
while you look for the picture, I want to tell a funny story about the luau.
Okay.
Do you guys remember the elbow crease butt pictures?
I have all of those pictures on my phone, so I'll make this picture smaller, but
yeah.
Look at this tire, everybody. Look how absolutely shredded the tire is.
It literally exploded.
Are you joking?
He only bumped it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it didn't look like that when I had it.
Yeah. Absolutely wild.
Oh, I remember I was in that car too. I was one of the ones flipping you off. We were laughing at you guys so hard.
I know, and then I sent that picture and you guys were like, "Holy shit."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the people trying to change the tire, like I'm not going to say who they were, but they hated each other and like they were drunk and me and Soraya were like holding flashlights and they were just like mumbling and it was a really good experience.
Oh, okay. Hey, you should go find the best elbow crease butt picture while I tell this story.
Okay,
and then upload it.
Okay.
So, for any of you that don't, if you're wearing a t-shirt and you can see the crease of your elbow, like put your arm up like you're doing a curl, and then look at like the crease.
I found them.
Look at the crease between like where your bicep is and your forearm is, and it looks like a butt crack, especially if you take a photo of it like from really close up. And so we're at this luau, and the luau hasn't started yet, and we're all drinking and like we're pre-gaming at this, like we pre-gamed the luau and then we were drinking at the luau. And we have this giant table, and there's hundreds of people around, and we have our group chat, and everyone is sending these butt crease pictures to each other, and we're all having, have you guys ever had a laughing attack? Has anybody not ever had a laughing attack?
I think that was the hardest I'd laughed in a long time.
Yeah, so it's just
maybe ever
communally, like. There was probably 12 of us, I think. Something like that. Like 12 of us.
Yeah.
All having a laughing attack all at the same time while I'd say a couple of us were probably borderline getting to a point where we should have been cut off, but we kept drinking. It's fine.
One.
And we just, in this group chat, I know we must have sent like 200 of them. Oh yeah, that's a nice hairy one.
That's Marcus's. Although
it might be, I'm not sure.
What?
No, that's my butt crack, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Actually,
that might be yours.
He's like, I recognize that elbow crack anywhere.
Oh man, that was so funny because like everyone around us is like just a normal family, and we were a very dysfunctional family.
We were belligerent in front of like hundreds of people.
Then someone put like sauce in there. elbow crack?
I can see
my
the
God.
corner of it, and it's not okay.
I don't remember this at all.
You don't remember this?
No.
I also
I
have
don't remember
selfies of everyone that we took because I sent a selfie and then everyone just like followed suit type
Yeah.
situation.
All right, the freaking YouTube algorithm is gonna flag this show and take it
Yeah,
down.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to send them an email and be like, "I swear those are elbows."
I'm gonna delete those out of there.
I
I'm leaving
swear
the
to God
tire.
that those were
Yeah, but
elbows.
everyone, wait. Let me just put on here for the good people the selfies, really quick, because like just mine, Foxy's and Marcus's, because they're oh god, why is it sideways? They keep
Bangers.
coming in sideways, but
That's what
you
she
can
said.
you can see
why is it
that.
straight up your nose?
Cause that was the point.
Where'd it go?
And then oh, I deleted it.
Oh, because you can turn it. You just right click on it
Oh.
and rotate counterclockwise.
Oh no, it went into the
Is that
That's
What
a
is
nice
happening?
eyeball.
No, that's Marcus.
It's hard to tell. We have the same color eyes.
Oh,
I'm gonna delete
what's
it. You add
happening? Okay,
add it back.
okay. Sorry, guys, we've gone off the train rail. Okay,
Off the rails.
let me add it back in.
You want me to try to turn it?
Yeah, see if you can. Right click.
What is that? Oh my
Yeah, we
God.
just tried to make the worst. You can see some boogies in there. That's nice.
Yeah, because this one's mine. Marcus, you can turn this one.
You're now down to 6 viewers for your podcast.
I know. And then here's Foxy's.
That looks like you.
Oh, why is
Foxy
it
with
doing that?
a little hidden Logie on the side.
Yeah. Wait, I
Oh,
gotta
Liv's
put it
got
back
some
in.
crusties going on there too.
What are you gonna do, man? You're looking up my nose. Like,
It was a selfie.
that's
Oh
true.
God.
There's Foxy.
Oh,
Loki.
what a nice guy.
What?
Not ginger
Anyway.
at all, Olivia.
Yeah.
Guys,
All
it
right,
was a
I'm deleting
prank.
these.
Yeah, delete them out. Anyway, the luau was just like so entertaining.
The luau was unhinged, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the word for it.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then we got back to base, and you guys could continue to drink after that too.
Oh, and Vinny got yelled at because he was doing the chi-hoo or whatever. So loud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so loud.
Yeah.
I think I went to my room before he got yelled at. No, I think I was there actually. And then I went to bed after he got yelled at because I was like, I'm not associating with this.
Good times. Yeah, I'm sad I didn't think of that one. That one might the luau in general might be also the boat. The boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whatever the kitchen sink that we all kept
snorkeling?
drinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Snorkel trip.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Dang it. All right. All right, Liv, it's your turn, I think.
No, it's you.
Oh,
I
it's
did
me?
my second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on to number 3.
Oh.
I might have to take a quick break.
All right. Do you want to do it
But you
before
can-
I start?
Let's
just do
you
it now.
can go. Okay. Okay, take 5. Take 5.
Take 5.
Happy. We'll be back. All right, I'm back.
Same.
Welcome back.
I had to pee so bad my back teeth were floating.
You just pause it? How does it work?
No, I just made timestamps and I will I'll edit I'll edit it out so it goes real quick on the actual video.
Hell yeah. Sorry.
All right, we're back. It's my turn.
We're back. All right, Marcus.
Oh man, there's so many good, funny ones. But
I know.
I think I'm gonna do one slightly serious one, and it might be complete bullshit, but we'll find. We'll find out. So it is a Vegas story. Surprise. Vegas. Have you guys been to Casa Fuentes?
No.
Oh,
It's the cigar bar in the Caesars Mall shops thing.
Oh, no. Was that on this most recent trip? last red flag we went to?
This specific one was Vinny and I went to this like industry event at at the Red Flag building. So we were there. It was basically a conference, and a bunch of defense contractors were trying to convince us to spend money, and I'm like, you sent the wrong person. I don't get to spend any money, but cool technology, man. That's awesome.
Score. Free trip to Vegas.
But so it's one of my favorite moments. If it's true, I think it is true. Vinny will have to tell us otherwise. I think I inspired Vinny to start his degree. Him and I went to Casa Fuentes, and we're just sitting there smoking cigars, drinking some sangria, and I pestered him so much about why he hasn't started school yet and why he hasn't started going to college yet. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, you're doing the same job for half the pay. It's ridiculous. Like you have full GI Bill. I think like you're kind of being silly if you don't do this. And he kind of blew me off, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And then like 3 months later, he was signed up for school. And now he's going to finish his degree before I do, because he's been such a motivated little monster about school. And I'm kind of pissed off.
AMU Golden Eagles, baby.
He's going to finish school before I do. So it's one of my favorite moments, because I feel like in the moment, it's like a good feeling that maybe I was inspirational, but maybe he thought of it. Maybe he totally forgot that this even happened, and he just made the decision on his own. And I'm just like blowing smoke up my own ass for no reason. So, Vinny, you'll have to tell me if I'm allowed to be proud about this moment or not.
Vinny, get in the comments, damn it.
You mother fudger.
Yeah. Well, that's dope.
Well, maybe it's not dope. Maybe I'm just full of shit.
Hey. Whatever.
10% truth, man. That's all that matters.
Whatever.
Okay. That's it. A short story. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. All right, I'm up, I think. All right, this is because Marcus requested it. Okay. So there it was.
Where were you?
Drill weekend. One of our commanders, she loved to do officer. I don't know even know what you call it. Basically, all the officers would get together, and she would teach us stuff about leadership, call, yada yada yada. It was always like an hour of learning, and then typically we were drinking throughout. So it was, wasn't the worst time. And at the time, we went over to our director of operations house. That's where it was funny, because the commander didn't live there. She lived out of state, but she would always have DJ host us. So like it was DJ or cooking tacos or whatever for the entire O Corps. Well, this one night, Saturday night drill, I'm not feeling 100%. I hadn't really felt well all day. But I can't get through these O calls without a few adult beverages. Well, and I had 3. I remember having 3 drinks as all. Diet Coke and whiskey or rum, whatever I was drinking that night. And went through the hour-long session. For whatever reason, these 3 drinks are just absolutely destroying me at this point. Like, I am completely over my skis. I didn't drive, obviously. I had a driver, thank God. But this house was gorgeous. We finished the learning. Then we went outside, and there was this large fire pit that like stepped down, and we had a bonfire going. We had brats and burgers and more drinks, and we're sitting around. Most of us are sitting around the fire, and I'm sitting there, and Jeremy Barsky, Ace, he was sitting next to me with a bottle of tequila, and he was just taking shots of Jose Cuervo, just straight out of the bottle, not
As he
not in a
does.
shooter, not in a
man.
glass,
That's rough.
as he has a tendency to do when we're drinking, right? And I don't like tequila, and I surely don't like tequila mixed with whiskey or rum.
But
But I was at the point where I felt no pain. This fire felt amazing. We just had some good food, so hey, give me that bottle of tequila. I snag a bottle of tequila down the hatch for a couple seconds, a couple times, and I went from not feeling great to feeling the most amazing I've ever felt for about 30 minutes.
Oh, the old Jose trick.
The old Jose trick. I was so jacked up, and I was in shorts and a t-shirt, and I had flip-flops on. And my feet were sitting down in this classic Foxy. My feet were sitting down by the fire, and I just laid back on the cement, and I was just watching stars go by. It was amazing. And while I was doing that, my flip-flops melted. They melted because they were too close to the fire, and I was drunk and asleep, or passed out, one might say. Anyway, to fast forward the story, my mom and dad's house was about a mile away from here, and Squirrel was driving me that night, and he drives me back to my mom and dad's house. I get out, and apparently, I don't remember any of this, I pinball myself between his truck, my mom and dad's truck, all the way to their house. It was about 60 yards to their front door. I go inside, and I don't remember a second of this, in my blackout stupor, I pinballed all around their house, and I got sick in like the sink, the toilet, my mom's plastic thing that she used to fill up her coffee pot in the morning. I threw up like 4 different places around the house.
Oh man!
I went to bed. Somehow I set an alarm because we saw a drill on Sunday. Set an alarm for 6. At some point in the middle of the night, I was freezing cold, and I got sick again. So in my drunken brain, I went in. I was like, I'll get a shower. Well, the room was spinning too much for me to stand up, so I laid down, and I had a on the go bath basically. And they're
an involuntary bath.
Involuntary bath. That's a good way to say it. Their bathtub didn't have a stopper in it. And I was still freezing cold even with the hot water running over me. The door's open on the bathroom. I'm laying in the tub. I put my hand on this where over the hole, the drain, and I pass out. And the water goes all the way up to my nose, and hits my nose, wakes me up. I pull my hand off the drain, and when I pulled my hand off the drain, like whatever I still had left in me, I threw up in the bathtub while I was laying in it. And then,
oh my god!
Then
Air Force finest right here.
Air Force finest. I rinsed off, the chunks of brat, the chunks of burger, in the bottom of the tub, in the sink, wherever it was. I went to bed. I woke up at 6 o'clock somehow when my alarm went off. I went and actually had a real shower because I could stand up at that point in time. I made it to work somehow by 7. And I've never been more, I've only ever been that hungover probably twice in my lifetime. And that was one of the drunkest nights of my life. And I had to work the entire next day on Sunday.
I remember the reason that I even know anything about this story is just because seeing you that Sunday morning, and we were like in DO call or something at like 7:15, and we had a bunch of briefings in classroom too, which is just this like unventilated room that gets super hot.
Spot ever.
Yeah, is fluorescent lights, and the room is tiny, and we're all of us are in there just breathing in this tiny room, and there is Foxy at the front of the room, just in this like leaning chair, just looking like he is actually going to die at any moment the entire morning. and I was just
Oh.
laughing my ass off the entire time.
Oh,
The
I
only
think-
my only go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't think I'd been to basic training yet, but I was definitely at the unit. I don't remember you like being hungover, but I remember I think Barsky was hungover as well, and I definitely remember that.
My only saving grace that day, and why, well, one, I never did that. You guys never saw me like that ever again, or before that, I don't think. And it was it was like just a weird like concurrence of not feeling good and having a little bit too much to drink. I think is probably what pushed me over.
You were
But
on
the
your
only
man
saving grace
period.
is, yeah, exactly. There was a couple of our younger than 21 members that also, with us, they were out on the
Wait,
beach
it
that
was
night.
Cinco de Mayo?
It was
Oh,
Cinco
it
de
was.
Drinko.
Oh
Yes.
no way!
Yeah, so that's where you probably were with the enlisted folks on the beach.
That is
And
where
there
it
was,
was.
yeah, so there was
the
some
driver.
there were some minors that were partaking in what they shouldn't have been, and that was against the law. I was just a dumbass, so I was obviously way over 21 and just made a bad decision. But that's my fire pit story, Marcus. You're welcome.
Oh, it's such a
Oh,
good,
this is off.
such a wholesome story.
Oh man, that's
It's
rough.
so gross, so gross.
Like the worst is being hungover at drill.
Ugh.
I've only done it a couple times, but it's gnarly.
rough.
You get there at 7, the lights are so bright, and then normally you have to go sit in a room where like all you want to do is go like stand outside or get fresh air, and you're just like
You have to
the
like
whole morning.
talk to airplanes and think fast and perform.
Yeah, and your brain's just like not functioning 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff right there. Woof. Okay, then I was definitely at the unit for that.
Yeah, you were. You were a wee little slim at that point.
I was. Yeah. All right. I don't know if you guys will allow this, but I'm just putting Century Aloha as a whole. I had it on my list before we started talking about the luau. But like just everything. Like the snorkel trip, the luau, location.
Mhm.
Work really wasn't that difficult. A good group of people. Like it was probably the best work trip I've ever been on and will ever go on in my life. I don't think
were you in the car with Summer and I when I got Summer to start barking at people as we started? We were driving through Honolulu.
We were driving through like downtown Honolulu.
Yeah, and Summer is this very shy. I wouldn't say she's very shy. Around people, she's very comfortable. She's not shy, but like in public, Summer doesn't act out in public. Summer was turned up on the juice.
She had a few margs.
I think it was lava flows.
Dude, the lava. Wait, stop. No. This was a night. Oh my god! Wait, I'm forgetting the best story of Century Aloha, and it involves our special guest, FOXY. It was one of the nights we ended up at the Halekoa, but this is leading me to a quick story I have about the Halekoa. So I think we all went to this like beach and there were food trucks for dinner, and then like some people broke off and went home, and the rest of us listened to FOXY, and he was like, "Hey guys, the Halekoa is just right down the beach. Like, let's go there. The drinks are super cheap for military. Like, let's go there." And we were like, yeah, that sounds good. 1 second, I have to cough. Pardon me. Anyway, so he's like, "Come on, guys! Like the Halekoa, it's so close. Like, don't worry about it.
You can see it. It's right there."
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
You can taste
we start walking, and I'm looking down at my watch, and it's been like 15 minutes, and he keeps saying it's right there. And we've been so at this point we're off the sidewalk and we're walking on the beach.
We're on Waikiki.
And we're like Waikiki. Yeah. And we're like beach hopping essentially between resorts because there are these giant like wave barriers to like keep it from crashing too hard onto the beach. And we were like jumping up on these concrete things and then we were having to run in between them before the waves were coming in. So you had to time it. So we were doing parkour, we're walking along the beach. I don't think we got
Hold
to
on.
the Halekoa for like what?
What did
An
some
hour.
people take a different trip, or was I just so drunk that I have zero
No.
recollection of this?
No. That's what I was saying. People from the group broke off. I think it was like you, Summer, Vinny,
Oh, okay.
Soraya. Like you guys
I
went
was
back
like,
to the hotel.
I was like, holy cow! I didn't
Well,
think that
the
I
problem
like
was we went
blacked out. But okay.
we went to dinner and there was no parking. We couldn't find parking anywhere.
yeah,
So we
because it was
found a
down.
parking
It
spot.
was down on the beach.
Yeah, so we parked like a bajillion miles away from everything where there was an actual spot. But we
Yeah,
were trying to meet up. I think we were trying to meet up with Chunks and somebody else at the Halekoa. I'm like, it's right there,
yeah,
guys. Let's just walk down the beach. It'll be awesome.
yeah.
And it wasn't very awesome.
And it wasn't right there.
It wasn't right there. It took us probably like an hour to get there because we took the extremely scenic route. I'll call it the Foxy route. And he kept like the whole time he was like, "Guys, come on, it's just up here." And we were like, after 20 minutes, I'm like, "I don't believe you." And so I started pulling it up on my phone and like it was saying that we needed to go out to the main street and then just walk down. And Foxy was like, "No, no, no. Come on. I see it. It's right there." And so it took us like an hour to get there. We had a few drinks and then the best part, we had to walk all the way back to the car
In the dark, drunk.
in the dark.
Oh.
Yeah, classic. So there's just so many stories from that TDY. Like yeah, definitely best work trip ever.
So
Without
I've
a
got a
doubt.
very fast story. I did 2 Aloha's. The one with you guys was awesome. It was my favorite, probably my favorite TDY too. But the one before was also incredibly cool because I went down there with the guy that I deployed with and was my roommate in 2016. He's up at Wads now, Shag, and he was like my tour guide. We worked together, yada yada. Well, we went to this like hometown bar that you could only go to if you're Hawaiian or you were with a Hawaiian, kind of in a sketchier part of like downtown. We go in there. It was me and then one other gal from the 116th. We're the only 116th members that were at Century Aloha. Everybody else was in Puerto Rico for another trip, or they just got back from another trip. Marcus was there, I think. And
It's on my
so
list.
we went down there just. Oh, nice. We went down there as a 2-ship, and it was great. But it was me and this senior airman the entire time. We basically went to missions, and you guys did Century Aloha. It was work a day, mission plan a day, work another day. Anyway,
Yeah.
So we go on a night that we didn't have to work the next day except for mission planning, and we decided that we would go to this local bar. It was called like the Home Bar or something like that. We park the rental car. We park it right outside of this bar, and there's a sign that says, whatever, don't park here, towing zone, blah blah blah. And I parked there, but I was like, they're not really going to tow us, and my nose was over by like 1 inch of the line. We're probably fine. And I was the only one that was like questioning this decision. I was driving, so I was the sober one. And we get out, and I'm the 2 Hawaiians and the other gal from the 116th. They're like, "It's fine, we're fine, blah blah blah. Let's go." So we go inside. We have a great time. Food was incredible. Drinks were great. Come out like 2.5 hours later. Walk outside, and I could have sworn we parked right here. And they're like, "Yeah, me too." And we're like looking around, and we got the rental car towed on a Century Aloha night.
No.
At like 11 o'clock, and we had to be up at 5 the next day, and then we had to go figure out how to get to wherever the rental car was. And it was quite. I made the other 3 people that were in the car with me help me split the cost because I'm also cheap like that. The tow.
So is this like your claim that you were the only one questioning it, the same as like you only bumped the rental car into the curb a little bit?
No.
Or
it sounds very similar.
You guys have been to Hawaii, parking could be a bitch there, and we were singularly focused. We were like, "There's nowhere to park. We're 1 inch over the line. Fine, I guess we'll chance it." Well, that was a dumb decision because it costs like $250. and cost us at least 2 hours of sleep as we had to go find the car. So I got a rental car towed on TDY.
Oh,
Damn.
man, that's
You
special.
and cars on TDY, eh? Sounds
I
like a
would have
trend.
claimed that on my travel voucher for sure.
That's not even the worst car thing that happened to me on TDY, but we'll leave that for another podcast.
I'd love to have you on again. All right.
All right, who's that, Marcus?
I think so. All right. I think I'm going to take out this 2015 spin up and I'm going to replace it with 2018 to 2019 MQT program. So this is going to take some explaining.
Raise your hand if you were a victim of this.
A victim.
I'm raising my hand.
So MQT is mission qualification training. It's basically on the job training. That's a less fancy way to say it. So
yeah.
People go to their initial training school and then they have an initial so you go to your initial school and then once you graduate your initial school, then you go to a training called initial qualification training, which is IQT. And then you come home and you do on the job training, aka MQT.
It's a lot of training, bro.
It's a lot of training. And the reasons why this like time period was just like the people we were working with, we were like I had just gotten back from deployment. Spicy had just gotten back from deployment. And we like Spicy, myself, Vinny, like essentially were allowed to do whatever we wanted with our training program. And so one, it was really fun to just put this training program together. And actually I think at the time FOXY was the chief of training, but he's not full time, so he didn't. Essentially, I was running the training program, even though my name wasn't on it. But that was just my full time job to run it. So man, we just came up with all these crazy scenarios and built all these simulations, and like the actual part of making the work and making the training, like that was fun. Because the three of us were we were all on the same page of what we wanted to do and how we wanted to get it done. And we had free reign to go and take our ideas and do whatever with them. And then the second part of it was just all the students that came through like that time period. Like Liv was one of them. Soraya. I don't know if Logan was one of them.
Hulka.
Probably.
Yeah, like Holka, Tara, like they were just all these people that were like just like the legends of the 116th now came through at that time.
Bro.
And they came through this MQT program. And this is going to sound really toxic, but we had I think it was 7. We had a streak of 7 people like crying in the middle of training. And it wasn't because we were mean. It was because the scenarios were like so challenging, and every time we like caught on that somebody was doing well, we would just secretly turn up the heat a little bit more, so they were like never winning. So, and it's maybe a little bit toxic, but I don't know.
I was one of the criers. Not afraid to admit it. Not afraid at all to admit it. I'm a very emotional person, and Marcus kind of was talking about it earlier, where like our job is quite literally, or can be, life or death, and it's quite stressful, and you want to be good at it. And I'm just one of those people where I just care a lot about what I'm doing, and I try to put my best, or I try to do my best, but I try to give or like put everything into what I'm doing just so I can like be decent at it, basically. And yeah, I just cared so much that one day it just, like you said, they really turned it up on me. Now didn't they? And
Whoops.
yeah, I just got so frustrated with myself that I just broke down. And they were like, "Hey, so like you can't do that." I was like, yeah, I know. Okay,
There's no crying
everybody.
in baseball.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, anyway, I'm a crier. Proud to admit it. No shame in that.
Yeah.
I
And
cared.
the third part of this whole thing was like everybody, including like the full-time staff, that time period is the hardest I've ever worked in my life because we had so many students. I don't know, we put like, I want to say the number is like 24 or 25 students through this program in about 6 months. And it's like a 4-month program per person. So like we're running 5 or 6 students at once while also, so you know, that's realistically that's 5 to 6 hours of work every single day for every instructor, and then we have our own like actual like office job on top of it. And we just had so much fun that we didn't care, and we were all just turned up to 11 making all these things happen because we were having so much fun
And making people cry.
and making people cry. You know, you work hard to make people cry. It's fine.
I'm just kidding.
And then like really the third piece of it was kind of the same as the second piece, which is like the people, but it was like, you know, like you and Soraya making, like we had this thing where like we would do cook-offs at work, and it'd be like a themed thing, and people would bring in like a potluck type thing to work, and we'd have like Italian Tuesdays or whatever.
Yeah.
And like bringing in skillets or whatever, those little grills to like do pancakes and just random shit, and a bunch of work parties. And oh man, that was just that 2018 to 2019 time at the 116th. It will probably be the most fun and the best job that I ever had.
Yeah.
I don't think nothing will ever beat that. And no, it's a little bit sad, but you know,
That is very sad.
the bar is set high, and we'll you know, trying to get back there, whatever format that looks like.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting too, because in no time in history onto a deployment did we take so many people that were so green that had never controlled or been deployed before.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
like Slim's a good example of somebody that went to basic, went to IQT, or went to tech school to be a 1 Charlie 5, and then came back and did IQT, MQT, and then spin up and then deployed, like a year and a half of training basically, followed by a
Yeah.
deployment. So molding all this new clay to make people, that program, I remember you guys had, basically your goal was to make everybody cry. And you were effective at that, but
Success.
That was not
Great
the goal
success.
at all.
it made them. Hey, I was the chief of training. Don't talk back to me. It made in title only. And it just made them so that when we went over and actually went to the deployment, it was like, oh, this isn't that hard. This is actually kind of boring,
100%.
Yeah. Olivia was the first person qualified and the first person to be a trainer, right? And like we had people there that had multiple deployments under their belt, and here's Olivia. I'm going to say it's not because she's smart and great. It's because of our MQT program. That's, she doesn't get any of the clout here.
I don't need the clout. I just I mean, well, I'm not over here tooting my own horn. What can I say? But I'm totally kidding. No, I got put in a position, I feel like, that just wasn't as challenging, I feel like, as some of our other WDs that got sent over there. So I feel like, especially because of the MQT program, and like Foxy said, you get over there and you're like, wow, this isn't really as bad. So I feel like that's the reason why I attribute it to you guys, because without all the training and stuff that I received, I wouldn't have been able to go over there and do the things that we did. Pretty
Amen.
badass. That's why I put the deployment on there.
Yeah.
First time I really felt like I was somewhat decent at something.
It's true.
Just kidding.
You were pretty okay at it.
Hashtag Merca.
Merca.
Okay, now I have to
Okay, so
actually
what's
do
your
my
real
fourth.
number 4? Jesus.
I know.
Yes.
Good thing
Vegas?
I took a piss break.
Guys, I don't like Vegas, but all my stories, 3 of my
why
4
is
stories are Vegas. Super Bowl.
Oh no.
We'll call it with Spicy.
Yep.
Were any of you there?
I
Negative.
smartly bowed out.
No, not smartly. What are you talking about?
Actually, I think my best friend was in town, came down for the Super Bowl, and we hung out, watched the game and stuff. So,
Oh,
missed that party.
You missed out on the craziest. And it's not the craziest. It's like the most professional crazy, if that makes sense. Like nobody got unhinged, but everybody was really drunk and it was just a lot of fun. So it was, I don't know, what 2018? 2017? It was 2017, I think, when the Eagles won.
Yeah. I think it was 2018.
I think it was 18, yeah.
2017 was Pats and Falcons.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think it was.
I think we went to.
It was the 2017 season, but like 2018 Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. I thought that was
what I
just the red flag that was in March, and so 2018 was March. It doesn't really matter. That's not what's important. So we go to this bar, and there's probably like 15 of us. Yeah, and we're all drinking, having wings, and whatever. It's kind of like a rowdy sports bar, and the waitress that we had was super hilarious and like aggressive in a funny way. And I guess good for her because basically like every guy in there was flirting with her, right? So she kind of had to like put on this like don't talk to me, but it's fun. Like I'm saying it in a funny way so that you don't like try and fight me or that you at least tip me at the end. So like she's just like playfully funny. So that like I actually feel like she might be like 50% of why the entire vibe in the place was just like popping off. So good for her. What a champ. So we're having so Alicia is super drunk and she had these like pom things and she was just running around and like hitting people in the face with them. I don't know why. And I guess I was trying to avoid a story where it was like you had to be there, and this is slowly turning into it. You had to be there. Spicy is the world's biggest Eagles fan, and so he was losing his mind that the Eagles were going to win. And then when they did win, he got so excited he was jumping up and down, and he landed on Alicia's foot and removed her big toenail, like ripped it off because he landed so squarely on it, and then like. Just like scooted off or like slipped off of her foot and just took the whole big toenail with it.
Oh.
And nobody noticed. So she's just gushing blood everywhere for, that whole post-game celebration. Because I'm pretty sure it was like that game came down to the wire. If I remember correctly. So the energy was high and everyone's just screaming and Alicia's just running around hitting people in the face as she's just literally leaking blood all over the floor of this bar.
Oh my God.
And we didn't notice until we got into the car to leave. And she was like, oh my God, why is there so much blood all over the place?
Oh my God.
And Spicy is just like, fuck you. My Eagles won, I don't care.
What's funny about that is I wasn't with you guys, but I was trying to teach Spicy how to parlay and make sports bets on that trip because he was a huge Eagles fan. He's like, I want to put money on this and I want to do it this way. I'm like, let me help you. Like let's figure this out. And I think he bet like $100 on the Eagles and the over, which both of them hit for like a $300. So he was elated. First time he'd ever made a sports bet, and it won, and it was his Eagles that won. And it was like 2:30 in the morning on that Sunday, and that like after the game, and they were of course just shmammered, and they were sitting at a big buffalo machine, the one that has the 2 seats, and I
Heck
walked over and
yeah.
I kind of like put my arms around both of them, and they're both just like, "Hey, Foxy," like just living life. And Alicia's like, "Look at my toe; it's so black and no toenail, just blood everywhere. It was so disgusting, so
Oh
gross,
man,
but
amazing.
Yeah.
too funny."
What other honorable mentions do I have here? Century Savannah. That's in Savannah, Georgia. Basically for all the same reasons that Liv put Century Aloha. Century Savannah was just
It was pretty dope.
I think downtown Savannah might be my favorite downtown area of any city I've been in America.
It was really cool.
I love it so
Incredible.
much. There's just
Yeah.
a lot of crazy memories. There's this
Did
moment
Did you
where
go on the ghost tour with us?
no,
did, yeah.
I think that was the night where a bunch of like we all went out, but then people kind of split off.
Mm.
The ghost tour was super fun and super corny.
Yeah,
It
kind of
got
wish I
me.
would have
I
gone on it.
screamed.
Yeah.
I will say honorable mention, much like Savannah, Charleston, South Carolina. Incredible place.
I've heard that too. I've never been, but I've heard it's
Yeah, me neither.
amazing.
The Puerto Rico trip that Foxy was talking about, that was 3 weeks of basically working like 4 hours a day and then just getting to hang out in Puerto Rico and go crazy.
Yeah.
And then yeah. Old Town San Juan is another incredible downtown place. And then I don't know where I would fit this story, but I have to say it out loud. Snowboarding in Dubai. Me,
Oh yeah.
Roan, Jamie, Melissa. I think that was it. That was like our crew of 4. We went, I don't know, 5 or 6 times to this fake indoor mountain, and in the middle of summer in Dubai, went snowboarding multiple times. That's a pretty cool story. Great memory.
Mm-hmm.
Deployments. Woohoo, it's tough time.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I think your sponsor for this should be like Jose Cuervo or another large booze manufacturer, because the Air Force doesn't promote drinking at all. If you can't tell their story.
No, not at all. They don't promote it. They just don't penalize it that heavily. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, Foxy, you're up.
All right. My last story. I think I just lost an AirPod, so I'm going to my bad ear, as you guys know.
Oh no! Why did you even have 2?
Yeah. Because that's how I roll. I'm a boomer,
you got a bum ear and you put an AirPod in it still?
Well, that's all you got to work with at this point, so you just have to deal with it.
That's my last one, so I'm just gonna put it on my list, and then we'll.
Oh man!
Well,
you guys have to tell the whole 24-hour story following that.
Oh god!
Oh god, I don't even know that whole story.
That's not my area.
I'll say the faster, funnier version, and Slim, you can fill in the parts that aren't true or incorrect. But
okay.
So 2020, it was New Year's Eve, 2019. We were over near Abu Dhabi. International recording superstar Bruno Mars happened to be playing a concert at the large mall there in Abu Dhabi.
Yep.
And it happened to be on Tuesday. If nobody knows, but Tuesdays were apparently a holy day for our unit, where nobody could have the day off. Nobody could have half a day off. We did all this bullshit training on those Tuesdays.
It was Tactics Tuesday.
Tactic Tuesday, right? It was a sacred day in the unit.
Yeah.
And we came up with it.
Always really
dumb.
We stupidly came up with it in 2015, probably, because we did it then too.
Yep, that's when it was.
So long story short, I'm in charge of scheduling at that point in time, and I was like, Slim comes to me. She's like, Bruno Mars is playing in Abu Dhabi on New Year's Eve, and I'm like, I like Bruno Mars. That'd be kind of fun. I go, but it's a Tuesday. And she goes, I know it's a Tuesday. You have to get us off for that. And I was like, but it's a Tuesday. It's a holy day. It's sacred, right? There's no way we get off for this. So me being me, I'm like, reach out to our DO and I was like, hey, there's this concert. It's on a Tuesday. We'll do whatever makeup work we need to do, but is there any chance that me and 5 other people could go to this concert? And it was you could drink off base if you got approvals. Some people didn't. We didn't drink anything because I didn't know about the approvals at that point. I'm not sure it would have got signed off anyway. So we go ahead.
Nope, definitely nobody drank.
Allegedly. Nobody in my group that I saw. So anyway, so we have to go through all these steps. He's like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. If you're in charge, I trust you. You guys can make it happen. We get our crew. It was me and Slim, 4 other people. And in order to go off base, we had to go see security forces and we had to get this brief. Well, this brief was like, hey, these are the things to look out for. Here's the dangers. It's New Year's Eve, terrorists, large groups, blah, blah, blah. I copy. Okay. Well, this brief, they held a special brief for us at 7 a.m. in the morning because we worked night crew and as a night crew that was going to be going. And we scheduled this whole thing. Slim had a penchant for getting off scope on 3rd shift and then going back and she would have a slim. Slim was a nap, not what you would think it would be. So she would always go back to her room. She'd nap until the rest of us got off. Then she'd come out, gym, most of the time drinks, board games, whatever.
Definitely drinks and board games.
Hang out. Definitely drinks and board games. Well, the security forces lady comes in 2 hours before she normally does on base, so she could give the 6 of us the special briefing.
Oh.
And we're like, okay. We show up. We 6:30. We all get together. There's a bit of a walk. 5 of the 6 of us are there, except for one little Slim who's taking a Slim. We go over there, we catch the brief. We're like, oh, she'll meet us there. Maybe she went to the gym, whatever. She's at Chow.
You definitely
go there.
didn't go to the gym.
She definitely didn't go to the gym. And we get there, we take this brief, and this lady was plainclothes security forces. She was an Air Force cop dressed in plainclothes, and she gives us this brief. It took all of 15 minutes for us to tell us about all the dangerous things in Abu Dhabi at that time. We're like, okay, cool. And at the end of it, I'm like, hey, I have no idea. The person that wanted to go on this trip the most and has already purchased the tickets for us and everybody else. For some reason, she's not here.
I haven't heard from her.
Golden Circle, $300+ tickets for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I bought.
And,
yeah,
you and Amber bought Golden Circle tickets. The rest of us were in the nosebleeds behind the golden rope. Yeah. Anyway, so I talked to the lady. I'm like, she's like, well, she has to talk to me. It's general approval to get off base, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, crap. So then we all go our separate ways. And at dinner the next night, I don't think I'd seen Slim at this point yet. But I was talking to McKeag, McKeag for Prez, right? 3 hours ago, we mentioned that.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, we should fuck with Slim. We should tell her that, she can't go on the trip or, whatever. Like we should mess with her until the point where it's funny or maybe not so funny. And then we'll let her know that it's okay. So I get back to work after sitting scope that night and I send this plainclothes cop an email and I said, hey, would you find it okay if I sent you an email so we can prank one of our airmen who, the one that missed the briefing this morning or yesterday morning? If so, I'll send you a script and then I'll have you forward an email to her. And the lady replies the next morning. She's like, absolutely. That's incredible. I would love to mess with her. So I'm like, oh, excellent. Doing the Mr. Burns from, Simpsons, with my fingers. This is going to be incredible. So I'm there. I think I probably canceled my shifts for the night because I wanted to write this email so beautifully.
Air Force problems.
The most bullshit email that anybody in their right mind would have seen through after 2 sentences. And it was like, I basically was like acting as if I was the cop, and I was like, hello, Olivia. Something along the lines of it requires, since you missed this meeting, it requires general approval to go off base. Your friends actually seem pretty cool, so I would be willing to buy your ticket from you because I have the approval to go off base. Blah 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 blah. And I wrote this like long paragraph email, and she was awesome enough to take it, change the names on it, and send it to Slim that night. And I see Slim at dinner that night, and she is Slim that's lost $500 and has gone back to the ATM 3 times. Slim.
Okay,
like,
wait, pause. Super quick, super quick.
Okay.
I got to work that night. So like the night Foxy's like crafting the email or whatever, or like early evening, he crafts the email and like sends it. So when I finally get into work that night, I check my email and I see it's from this lady, and I'm like, oh no, oh fuck. And so I read this email, and like I'm up in my office, and dude, like Foxy said, anyone in their right mind would like be like, what the fuck is this? But I was just so like in shambles over the entire thing that I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna get a general's approval and like all this stuff? Anyway, go ahead, Foxy.
You're also very upset with this lady because you were just so offended that she was willing to buy the tickets from you.
Oh yeah,
That because your friends were so cool, blah blah blah.
yeah,
Anyway, so I see
yeah.
Joe
My
at
friends.
yeah, your friend, in quotes. I see Slim at dinner, and she's just down in the dumps, and I'm just like, oh my god, I feel terrible. I'm like, I've crushed her soul. She doesn't deserve this, but I've done what I've done, and we've got to let it play out. And Joe McKeag is like sitting next to me. He's like, don't fucking tell her. You can't tell her. This is hilarious. This is, she'll be fine once she finds out. Well, fast forward, I go back to Scope for the next shift, and Slim is like back where we worked, and one of our other officers saw her like near tears and was like, just let the cat out of the bag. Alcorn, fucking
Yeah.
let the cat out of the bag that we were fucking with Slim, and basically told her, you can go. The tickets are still good. They're just
Yeah.
messing with you. And go ahead, Slim. Follow from there.
Yeah. Wait, so I was walking out to go sit a shift, and I had like my headset in my hand and like a bag in the other hand, and I was just like arms down to the ground, like just so like dejected. And yeah, he comes up and he's like, "Hey, Slim." Like, "What?" And I go over there and he's like, they're fucking with you. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the Bruno Mars concert. He's like, you can still go. He's like, they're just fucking with you. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, this, what? And then I couldn't believe that like Foxy and McKeag and everyone who like I'd been spending this
Betray
whole
you.
deployment with, yeah, betrayed me. And then I found out like the email was fake and like everything, and it was it was so funny. Like hindsight, it was hilarious. In the moment, I really genuinely thought I wasn't gonna go get to see Bruno Mars because I missed his briefing. And like Foxy kind of mentioned it, but I love Bruno Mars. Like it's unreal the amount that I love Bruno Mars and the amount that I loved him then too. And so, and the fact that he was like all the way across the world at the exact same time that we were for New Year's Eve was like, what the hell? So, yeah, it was wild. It was
Stars
so funny.
aligned.
And then I think I went to after like we all worked the rest of the night, and at breakfast I think I found the table and I was like, I can't believe you guys did this to me. And then the cat, everyone was like, how'd you find out? And I was like, Alcorn told me.
What a
His
snitch.
name is still there to this
Talk
day.
about a man that loves bananas.
Oh man, that's another funny story.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, well, that was an elaborate prank that I was forced
It
into, but I
was
don't apologize for it.
no, that was like the best prank ever. Especially because I still got to go to the concert.
Yeah, the concert was an absolute banger, and
Yeah.
we It went to like 2 in the morning, and it was incredible.
And then we went to Burger Juice.
Burgers and juice. Yep. So.
And I ate chicken nuggets.
So the second day, the morning after, I won't drop any names, but so there were a couple of groups of people that went to this, and in one of the other groups, there was a person who did not get approval to go, never even asked for it. And it's just funny how the universe has a way of fucking some people. And so the next day, so this other group, they were actually, the ones that did get approval also got approval to stay off base at a hotel that night. And so on their way back onto base the next morning, they ran out of gas. Okay, so I guess I don't know how I want to say this. So the base that we were on, there was a part of it. It's a giant base, and you had to drive on like the non-US side for quite a bit of time before you got to the US side from the front gate.
Like basically the entire way.
Yeah, and by entire, it's probably a solid 15-minute drive. Like it's significant. And in between the front gate and the US side, this vehicle runs out of gas with all the people inside the car, including the person who was not approved to go. And so the other people leave, like they leave the car there to go and walk to the closest gas station on base to try and get some gas.
Oh man.
And the only person left in the car is the one person who wasn't approved to go. And then this is where, I was saying the universe just fucks people. The DJ, just happened to be driving like off base to like go grab a snack or something, and then was coming back and saw a random car with its blinkers on and just randomly decided that, hey, I'm going to help this person. Like today, I have time. I'm not busy. I'm just going to help this person. And he pulls over, and it's this guy from the same unit, and he's like, oh, holy shit. What the heck? Like, what happened? Talk to me. Like, what's going on? And the guy's just trying to avoid, he's shitting his pants, and he's like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. It's going to find out. And then, our DO, he's not a dumb person. And so as this guy is like trying to make up a lie of why he is alone at this car, because he's trying not to say who he's with, because the DO knows that those other two people were just coming off of base onto base from the hotel. And finally, DJ gets to the point where he's like, okay, like, what are you not telling me? Like, you are so obviously lying right now, and you're like shaking, shit in your pants. What is going on? And he ends up spilling all the beans to say like that he went off base, and like there's also like the person that drove wasn't authorized to drive because you have to go through this like driving drive training to be able to drive, to be allowed to drive government vehicles outside of base. And the person didn't do that, so like this whole thing just like came unraveled and just caused so much drama. And it was all because the stars just aligned, and they left this one guy to sit in a car alone for like 20 minutes just so and DJ just happened to drive by and be like, oh, I'm just going to help a random person today for some reason.
Oh man, that's so wild.
It's so funny. It's funny how the world works.
Yeah. And then like, yeah, you had our group home by 3 a.m. Which we worked nights, so like it was 3 p.m.
No
But
biggie.
we'd been up since like, I don't know, what time did we leave? Like 4 p.m. or something wild.
So we went and grabbed dinner and stuff at the mall and all that before the show.
Yeah.
And then we had the show and the concert before the concert. So
yeah,
we were out till probably 9-10 hours.
Yeah. It was awesome. Well,
Crazy.
Wow. Well,
right.
should we go through our lists real quick?
Yeah, if you guys want to. We're at 3.5 hours.
Hell
We're
yeah.
well, if we really slow down right now, we can make it longer than Spicy's. Just drag this on.
It's almost 11 p.m. Holy crap.
Yeah. But
Tomorrow's
yeah,
the day
we'll
I know. Good thing it's a holiday.
yeah. All right. I'll run through my list and then Foxy, you run through yours and then live. All right. So my gambling advice is play roulette only and then bet all on black all the time and you'll win 49% of the time. And if you don't play roulette, play the 4-deck $5 blackjack because you can play all night with like $20. But also you should only gamble on the stock market. And then the fourth one is make sure you win. That's what that is. Yeah. For
Just
my
win.
sport, yeah. For my sports, for watching sports, women's volleyball, any flavor, as long as they're adults, of course. It's fucking weird.
What?
Disc golf.
You just made it weird.
I know. I should. I'll edit that out. Damn it.
Obviously, a woman is of
a
certain
good point.
age.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Weird disclaimer.
Yeah. Moving on. Disc golf, in person or on TV. It's both all the good. NHL and then Counter-Strike, which is an esport. And then my memories is Zombie Burlesque, our MQT program, Casa Fuentes with Vinny, and Super Bowl with Spicy.
Okay.
Good memories there. All right, mine are gambling advice, but also life lessons. Never leave a table on a heater. Apply that in your regular life too. Life is too short to bet the under. Same. Money won is better than money earned, naturally, and the game's a skill. Reduce the house's edge. And then sports, of course, NFL's king. College football is next. 98% NFL, 2% college football, 0% the rest. But UFC, incredible in person. And I don't care what Slim says, World Series of Poker is a sport on TV.
Whatever.
Preach.
Non-contact sport where they sit and sweat a lot. And then 1/16th memories. That was a fun little memory road trail there that we did. Humvee off the road in Fallon, Nevada, in the middle of the desert. My incredible. What was it? What was those guys? The crash test dummy driving, apparently, that I did to pop the tire out for the luau.
Yeah.
The fire pit bar fest, and
Mm.
the best prank I've probably ever pulled and ever will pull, the Bruno Mars concert that almost didn't happen for Slim.
Well, debatable. Okay. For myself, gambling advice, always have a limit. Do I always follow it? Questionable. Never sit anchorman or third base, whatever you want to call it, position at a blackjack table. Sit at a slot machine that someone angrily got up from and pet the slot machines, sometimes heavily, if you want to win.
Weird.
Yep. For sports, college football, Sco Ducks, in person is the best. NFL next, definitely on TV for the same reasons as Foxy. Olympic gymnastics on TV, naturally, and ice skating. And then for my memories, the 2019 deployment, we kind of talked about that deployment a lot tonight. On that deployment, I met, of course, Eddie. Then the call sign night we had before deployment. A lot of funny things happened. Like I said, if you know, you know. I hated for it to be one of those like you had to be there things, but like there's just too much that happened. But I had to bring it up because it was hilarious. And that's where I got my call sign. Century Aloha, and then of course, probably the best prank ever pulled on me, in the Bruno Mars concert. And I think that's it, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make sure everybody, thanks for sticking around. Make sure you like and sub. Foxy, thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Foxy,
Thanks
for being here.
Anytime.
We popped your podcast cherry, And I love that. Thanks for letting us do that.
Thanks for doing it.
Perfect. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Yeah. So good.
God.
All right. Love you, Chris. The invite.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again.
Yep.
And on that note, unless you guys have anything else to say, we'll catch you all on the flippity flop.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
See ya.
Peace out.